All right, everyone, welcome in to the Dusty Tron channel. You're listening to my live reaction to the Lions and the 49ers. At the beginning of the year, we thought this was going to be a super important game rematch of the NFC Championship from last year, and it was an opportunity for the Lions to really seek revenge in a big moment. Well, unfortunately, at this point of the season, the game doesn't really mean too much. Because the Lions still have a chance to win the division next week, whether or not they win or lose. Now, they might need this win. Well, I don't even think so. It helps them if they get this win to try to get the number one seed. Because I think if they win this game and then they win next week, they just automatically get the number one seed. If they lose this week and then they play the Vikings, I think the Eagles still might have a chance at it. I don't know that 100% offhand. I'll probably have to look into that. But yeah, we are getting ready for some football. I'm kind of a little disappointed that there's not too many headlines going into the final week of the season. But, yeah, that's kind of just what we have this year. I think there's two games. The Seahawks and Rams, I think that one decides the division. I guess the Bucs Saints has implications. If they win, they're in. If they lose and the Falcons beat the Panthers, then they're in. Then the Falcons get in. I think it would be really interesting, though, with the Falcons benching Cousins and Penix coming in, and he'll actually get the playoff start. Be interesting to see, because it seems like I didn't actually watch the Commanders-Falcons game last night, but I heard it went into overtime. So it seems like the Falcons are at least being a lot more competitive. Now, granted, their other win they had was against the Giants, but as the Colts would attest to, the Giants are a very tough team. The Giants came out and just utterly obliterated the Colts. I mean, granted, the Colts made it look like a game in the second half, but they got out to a 21-6 lead and then a 28-13 lead when it looked like the Colts were closing the gap. That one blew my mind. And as a part of a parlay, I had the Colts plus 4.5 because I'm like, there's no way that they're going to lose to the Giants. And lo and behold, they do. The Colts seem to have this issue with choking in the last few weeks of the regular season. I think back to 2021 and the Urban Meyer-led Jaguars. They lost to the first year Trevor Lawrence Jaguars. I think that was only like their third win on the year or something like that. And they didn't just lose, they got obliterated by those Jaguars. It was like 31-10 or something ridiculous like that. But yeah, anyone who's live or watching, please subscribe or hit the like button. It helps the channel out a lot. I really appreciate it. But yeah, this final week, little disappointing. Yeah, I guess the Dolphins still have a shot. I really am curious to see if the Bengals can pull it off. If they win and the Broncos lose, I think they get in. They might have the tiebreaker over the Dolphins. I'd have to see that. Actually, I'm curious. Let's take a look at the Dolphins playoff scenario. Okay. And they kept themselves alive by beating the Browns this last week. So the Broncos need to lose and the Dolphins need to win. Okay, so it doesn't matter. So the Bengals, if they win, they still need the Dolphins and the Broncos to lose. So part of me is wondering with the Bengals, because they need the Broncos and the Dolphins to lose. I'm really wondering because the Bengals are one of the few teams that beat the Chiefs somewhat regularly. I wonder if you're the Chiefs, you already have the number one seed. Do you purposely lose that game so that the Bengals don't make the playoffs? Because I think the Bengals, if they can somehow get in, they could be a really dangerous team. It's just, unfortunately, it just seems a little too far fetched to actually make it. So it might be a case of too little, too late. But they've really tried. They've really made a good stride to try to get into the postseason. My Panthers seems like postseason is going to be a good ways off as we had that big win against the Cardinals, but it's bookended by getting owned by the Cowboys and utterly obliterated by the Bucks, who we actually were competitive with the first time. I don't know what happened yesterday. Second half, we just couldn't do anything. But yeah, I'm actually in a really interesting fantasy situation. I have a long shot chance. I have Laporta, my opponent has Gibbs. If Gibbs does nothing and Laporta goes crazy, I have a chance. So I am rooting for Sam Laporta to get all the touchdowns in this game. I also have another one where I'm winning by like 4, and the other person has Jameson Williams. And so I'm really hoping that Jameson Williams doesn't do anything in this game. But yeah, I was in 3 fantasy championships, and it looks like I'm going to lose them all, which is just a feeling. But yeah, rough year for Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers. I feel like it's one of the it's either, I think I saw some crazy stat where it's either ever since 2003, the 49ers have either made the NFC Championship game or they've missed the playoffs. It's insane. I'd have to go back and verify that, but I'm pretty sure it's like since 2003 that's the case. Looks like we're about to get ready here in San Francisco. And there is the kickoff, or the dynamic touchback. Oh, it actually comes a little short. And Deebo Samuel will return it past the 20, past the 30, 35, and are down around the 40. Probably call it the 38-yard line. So Brock Purdy gonna come in. Interesting. I've heard some talk that it's like a contract extension was a shoo-in for him until his bad game against the Rams. But you do wonder if that's just posturing for contract negotiations. I think the 49ers have to pay him for the success that they've had recently. But I am kind of convinced that it's more the system and not Purdy himself that works here. So they would call it the 39-yard line. Purdy tosses it to Deebo Samuel, and he's going to get about 3. Now, I find it really interesting because I actually, last week, not this week, with Isaac Guerrero going down, I did an aggressive trade in one of my dynasty leagues because I had won the last 3 seasons. I was going for a 4-peat in this league. So I traded a 1-year plus second rounder to get Patrick Taylor because I thought he was going to get the majority share, and he ended up getting me 3 points. Didn't really work out that well. So we've got a 2nd and 7, Kittle in motion. Purdy surveys, throws, gets it to his man, and that's to the Lions' 45-yard line. That's Conley. Is that Chris Conley? Oh, it is. I didn't know he was still in the league. Yeah, so I'm getting the feeling that the Lions, we might have a play coming up here. That's Ricky Pearsall in motion. They hand it off to Deebo Samuel again. And that is about a 5-yard gain on first down, coming up for a 2nd and 5. Yeah, I feel like the Lions really want to come out and just destroy the 49ers after last year. It's giving me vibes of when they came out and just utterly obliterated the Cowboys after the failed ref callback 2-point conversion debacle last season. But we'll see what happens on offense. The Lions are just so weak on defense right now with all the injuries. It's kind of hard to say that they'll be able to be dominant. And Deebo Samuel, lots of Deebo Samuel, gets it on an end around, and he's going to get the first. So it's interesting that, yeah, they have Patrick Taylor, but it's been Deebo Samuel getting all the carries so far. I believe that's his 4th carry of the night. Maybe it's his 3rd. It might be his 3rd as opposed to 4. Yeah, because I think they passed on the other play that they had. Yeah, it was to Chris Conley. Yeah, that one's technically not out of the running back position. He came around on a jet sweep, so he took it from the wide receiver position there. 1st and 10 from the Lions' 32-yard line. Purdy, they're going quick, gets it to Kittle, and that's a big gain down to the Lions' 13-yard line. Yeah, not the 49ers season, but maybe they're just trying to cause a little bit of chaos here. Get the Lions not feeling as confident going into that game against Minnesota next week. But yeah, Kittle just gets behind the defense there, gets behind Jack Campbell off the play action. And Purdy just finds him right away. All right, so 49ers at the 13 of the Lions in the red zone. Guerrero in the backfield. Pearsall in motion. They're doing a lot of trickery here. Oh, it's a pitch to Pearsall after he handed it off to Isaac Guerrero. Pearsall tries the leap. Little ineffective there. Gets about 2 yards. So the 49ers just bringing out a lot of things right here, doing a lot of trickery. We've seen 2 jet sweeps already where it starts with a handoff to the running back and then they toss it to the receiver. Pearsall looked like he might have been trying to throw the ball to Purdy there, but he didn't handle the pitch particularly well, so he just tucked and ran. Yeah, also, might not have been the best pitch by Guerrero there. All right, so we've got a 2nd and 6 from about the 11-yard line. Jauan Jennings at the top on the right side, and that's Guerrero. Gets it down to the 5. Looks like it's going to be 3rd and 1. And I do apologize if I am not pronouncing that last name right. It's Guerendo, I think it's actually. My bad. Guerendo. So big 3rd and 1 for the Lions defense. They really want to they want to win as much as possible, so they want to win this game. And you know, Dan Campbell always wants to win. He's going to keep his starters in. They go forward with Purdy, and it looks like he did not get it. It was a quarterback draw, and he is short. So the Lions defense comes up big there. But I get the feeling Kyle Shanahan's going for this one. It's like, why not? You have nothing to lose. Try to take down the best team in the NFC. Lions got a bit back on track last week against the Bears with a nice 34-17 victory. We wind under 10 minutes in the first quarter. This has been a very efficient first drive by the 49ers. They do line up, and it's Purdy going again, and this time he got it. Gets about 2 on the sneak. So it's going to be a 1st and goal for San Francisco. They keep the drive going, imposing their will on the Lions defense. And you are listening to my live reactions on the Dustytron channel here on YouTube. All right, we got Purdy in the shotgun with Guerendo in the back. He gets the handoff, and not going to get much. No gain. Yeah, how many running backs have the 49ers played this year? I think this is, well, with Deebo Samuel getting carries. Oh, we have some extracurricular here. There's a flag down on the field. If the 49ers initiated that fight, that's a 15-yard penalty, and it's going to make this a lot more difficult. Yeah, it looks like he's getting into it. Terrion Arnold there. Yeah, I think that's going to go against Jauan Jennings. Oh, but the Lions came in at the last second. That might have been enough to offset it. Which, yeah, if you're the Lions, you gotta not do that. Getting second and goal from the 14-yard line pushed back to the 19-yard line. That would have been huge. But, yeah, I get the feeling this is going to be offsetting penalties here. I saw 2 flags thrown. Zero with 8 minutes and 54 seconds left in the first quarter. You are listening to my live reactions here on the Dustytron channel. Yeah, it looks like 2 personal fouls. The penalty's offset, and it's going to be a replay of the down. Replay of second and goal. Or it's maybe they just don't read. It was at the end of the first down play, so they probably just keep the result of the down. So yeah, it is second and goal from the 4-yard line. We've got Debo coming out of the backfield, lining up at wide receiver. And it's Purdy rolling out left, throws for Debo. No, it was actually Ricky Pearsall, and it looks like he was in the end zone when he caught it, but might not have fully established himself. The ref calls him down at the 1. Oh, yeah, he kind of bobbles it there. Doesn't fully possess it until, or maybe he does. Oh, he might not fully possess that at all. Or at least he doesn't fully possess it until he goes out of bounds. So, yeah, Ricky Pearsall had trouble catching the pitch, and now he's having issues catching this pass. We'll have to see what happens. He's going up against Brian Branch there. Looks like the officials are conferring on it, but I have a feeling that might be incomplete. They're ruling it a touchdown, actually. I guess they ruled he had enough possession? Okay, well, it's a 3-yard touchdown catch by Ricky Pearsall. I don't know if I agree with that one. He's kind of pinning... Ugh. Maybe he's pinning it against the helmet? I don't think I like that. I don't think I like that call. But yeah, that is a statement opening drive by the 49ers. Unfortunately for them, it doesn't mean anything. They are eliminated from playoff contention. Jake Moody, he's had a really rough season. Let's see if he can make the extra point. Snap is down, kick is up, and it's good. So we have 7-0 49ers with 8 minutes and 37 seconds left to go. In the fourth quarter, you're listening to my live reactions here on the Dustytron channel. But yeah, it kind of just seemed like the Lions, they just didn't really have much of an answer for what the 49ers were coming out with there. And to be fair, the 49ers were trying a lot of different things there. A lot of clever motions in the run game. Yeah, it was mostly the run game that got them down the field. They had that one pass to Kittle, which got them a good amount. But yeah, I mean, if they get down a lot, then maybe they won't be able to use Gibbs and they'll have to throw to Laporta. For those just tuning in, I need Laporta to do a lot in this game and Gibbs to do nothing. I'm down 12, and I need Laporta's game to make up the difference on what Gibbs gets there. So, long shot, but I'm still hopeful. I like to maintain hope on these things. But yeah, I'm staring down 3 lost championships, hoping I can scrape one out. I also don't want Jameson Williams to do anything. I'm up 4, and going up against Jameson Williams, and really hoping that I can maintain that. And Jameson Williams, very boomer bust player. Either he seems to have big games or he might not show up. So I feel like I might be able to get that one. I was goofing with some people in my league. I'm like, oh hey, well maybe Gibbs just mildly sprains his ankle, has to go out for the game. He'll be back next week. And maybe Laporta gets some stuff. I don't know. I don't wish that on Lions fans. They've had so many injuries this year. I'm really hoping that they can pull through, start to get some players back, and make a deep playoff run. I really want to see the Lions do well this year. But yeah, Dan Campbell really seems to be taking the approach, play all your starters, even though it doesn't matter. This game doesn't matter. He's going to still play his guys. And we saw it. Which game was it? They were racking up the score, and yet he still. Oh, it was the Jacksonville Jaguars game. He kept his guys in there until like mid fourth quarter, and they were up like 45-3 or something like that. It's like, okay, you could probably take your starters out. But for Dan Campbell, it's all about culture. He's established a winning culture, or at least a culture of everyone trying to give their best, everyone supporting each other. And so the starters, they're held to the standard of winning, and they want to play. So here's the kickoff. And it looks like it's coming short again. All right, we've got a return by the Lions, and he's going to get it to about the 35-yard line. So we're going to see the first offensive drive from Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions. They're down 7-0. Let's see what they can pull off here. They have one of the most dynamic offenses in the league, and even in their loss against the Bills, they put up 42 points. Goff takes it. It's a quick out, and it's to Jameson Williams. I was just saying I did not want Jameson Williams to catch passes. He can't get more than 4, and that's a half a point right there. Actually, probably more like 0.8 because he got 3 yards on it. So bad Goff. Bad. But I did hear reports that both Rex Ryan and Ron Rivera are looking into the Jets job. And we've got Jameson Williams in motion, 2nd and 7. And here we've got a handoff to Gibbs. He's going to get about 5. And this is going to bring up 3rd down Lions. I almost wonder, Dan Campbell seeing all, like, how the 49ers just went through, if he's going to do a really aggressive 4th down, if it's 4th and short here, to at least sustain a drive. Third and 2 at about the 30, it's a handoff to Gibbs, and Gibbs breaks free and gets it to the 49-yard line. That's enough for a Lions first down. It's about a 5-yard gain on the run. Did a good job fishing his way through the line. All right, Lions get back to the line. Under 7 to play in the first. Goff under center. Brock Wright in motion. Hands it off to Gibbs again. They're giving a lot of Gibbs. Oh, and Gibbs gets through the line. Gibbs turns the corner, gets it to the 35 of the 49ers. So it's been only Gibbs and Jameson Williams that have touched the ball so far this drive. The two people who I can't have scoring points. But yeah, great blocking by the Lions O-line. Gibbs makes a move to make the corner miss. And yeah, it picks up 15 on the ground there. Actually, more like 20. It's at the 30. My bad. All right, Goff from the shotgun. It's an end around to Jameson Williams. And, oh, he got hit in the backfield, and now he's going to fall down. Okay, so he loses those yards he got. Loses about 5 on the play. So a little bit of trickery by the Lions. They're pulling a page out of the 49ers book there. And yeah, it just didn't quite work out. 49ers defense snuffed it out well. Yeah, Jameson Williams trying to make something happen in the backfield, eventually just gives himself up and takes the 5-yard loss. 2nd and 15 from the 49ers 35-yard line. Jameson Williams in motion. Goff back to throw. Looking, gets it over to Craig Reynolds. There's a flag down on the field. Craig Reynolds gets it all the way to the 10-yard line of the 49ers, but there is a flag. It kind of came in the middle of the field. It wasn't in the backfield. I'm almost thinking this is on San Francisco. Yeah, it looks like it's a legal contact. Penalties declined, and it'll be 1st and goal for the Lions. So, yeah, the 49ers took a good amount of plays to get down this drive. It was methodical but efficient. And the Lions, they've knifed right down. I think it's only been 5 plays, and they're at the 10-yard line of the 49ers. It's a good throw by Goff, beats the corner there, and then Craig Reynolds able to get out in the open field. Threw it on the flat and was able to take it about 25 yards. We've got 5 minutes and 22 seconds left in the first quarter. 7-0, 49ers over the Lions. You are listening to my live reactions to this game on the Dustytron channel. They actually rule them at the 9-yard line. So it'll be 1st and goal from the 9. We've got some offensive linemen moving in motion. You wonder if they're going to do something with that. Goff under center. Hands it off to Gibbs. Or, nope, that's not Gibbs. That's someone else. Hang on. I don't know who number 28 is. Jamar Jefferson. Oh my goodness. He was drafted like 4 years ago by them or something. Late round running back. I think he had one random game where he went off and had a good, like a big touchdown run. But besides that, he's been behind Montgomery and Gibbs and everyone else that they've had there. He's never really broken the starting lineup. We got Amon-Ra Brown in motion, and it's going to be Jamar Jefferson getting another carry, but gets dropped in the backfield for a loss of 2 by Fred Warner. One of the premier linebackers in the league. Yeah, Fred Warner just reads that there's a lot of motion pre-play, but he knifes through, makes a good tackle on Jamar Jefferson. I wonder if Gibbs needed a rest, and that's why he's was on the field. It looks like he's back in for this play. 3rd and goal for the Lions, and if you're Dan Campbell, I think you're going for it if you don't get it here. And it's Goff. Hands it off to Jameson. Yeah, he's going to get it. Got the edge. Jameson Williams gets into the end zone, and that loses me a fantasy championship. But the 49ers, the Lions get 6 and respond to that first 49ers drive. Yeah, and the way they did the motion here, they just set the edge perfectly. As soon as he got the handoff, you see it. He's got the touchdown. So, well-designed play by Ben Johnson there. Executed to perfection. And so now Jake Bates to tack on the extra point. Oh, it got blocked! It got blocked, and I think the 49ers can run that. Oh, Fred Warner gets it. He's not the fastest player on the field, and he gets tackled by Amon-Ra St. Brown. But, yeah, the 49ers are going to maintain the lead after a special teams miscue there. Yeah, no, it looks like the center, either the center or the left guard just got pancaked, and the 49ers defender was able to get through there and block it. We have seen so many blocked kicks this year, and they've literally altered the outcomes of games. Yeah, we've seen the Packers-Bears, we've seen the Chiefs-Broncos. All sorts of I've never seen more blocked field goals. Last year was like year of the backup quarterback. This year is year of the blocked field goal. I mean, maybe they didn't practice special teams as much because of all the changes to the kickoff, and they felt like the coaches felt like they didn't need to put as much time into it. It's just conjecture, but something has caused way more blocked kicks this year. I'm actually kind of curious. Let me see if I can find a stat on it. NFL blocked kicks year over year. Okay, so there's punts blocked year over year. I want kicks. Where did I even get that? Looking at Pro Football Reference right now, trying to figure out how I would find that. Maybe I can look for blocked on this page. Yeah, it's punts blocked. That is so weird that Pro Football Focus only has punts blocked, not kicks blocked. Maybe because kicks, well, no. Because, like, I can understand maybe an extra point because sometimes they don't record the stats on that, just like they don't record the stats on a 2-point conversion. But, like, an actual field goal attempt, you'd think they would count the stats on that. Many kicks have been blocked this NFL season. Okay, 2024 NFL field goal stats. Okay, so taking a look at the blocks. So I've got all the individual kickers. I can add them up. Okay. So we've got 5. All right, there's the kickoff by the Lions. It's going to be a touchback. 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. There have been 18 blocked kicks this year. Let's compare that to 2023. All right, so we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So 17, but that's including the playoffs. All right, we've got 1st and 10 for the 49ers at the 30. And there's Purdy. He's going to fake the handoff, rolling out to the right. There's a flag in the backfield. That's most likely going to be holding. Purdy gets sacked for a loss of 3. 2 Lions converge on him, but I'm guessing they're going to get a 10-yard penalty on this one. There's a flag in the backfield. They're calling holding on the defense. Don't see that very often. The first time I ever saw defensive holding called, and it's a good call. Yeah, he prevents Kittle from releasing from the line, so actually it's a very good call. I should say defensive holding, not like in the secondary, like near the line of scrimmage. I'll say it after this play. It's a 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line, their own 35-yard line. Kittle goes in motion. It's a toss over to Guerendo, and he's going to get about 1. Yeah, it was actually Super Bowl 35. I'm a secondary Giants fan. It was the Ravens-Giants Super Bowl, and Jesse Armstead intercepts Trent Dilfer and runs it back. The Giants were having trouble getting anything going, but they tie the game at 7, getting an interception return touchdown, but it's called back for defensive holding on the defensive tackle Kenny Holmes, I believe. And yeah, the Giants just never recovered after that. It might have even been when it was 0-0. I can't remember fully. All right, so we've got 2nd and 9. Purdy throws. It's to Guerendo again. And he breaks a tackle, gets about 5 out of that. So we're looking at a 3rd and 4 here. That should be at about the 41-yard line. So the 49ers had a great first drive. Let's see if they can pick up this third down. Lions knifed right through their defense. So you feel like the 49ers are going to have to keep pace in this one. Great first drive. Let's see if they can keep the second drive going on this 3rd down. I believe they only had 1 3rd down, except outside of the and goal to go. They had 2 3rd downs all last drive. Purdy sets back, throws. He has Pearsall. He didn't get it right away, but I think he did get it before he goes out of bounds. bobbled it a little bit. Pass might have been a bit overthrown. It's a good catch by Pearsall. Good job getting his feet down. I think that's a completion. Yeah, Purdy overshoots him a little bit here. But yeah, definitely gets both feet down, gets possession. And this is going to be a first down for the 49ers at, I believe, the 45-yard line of the Lions. 1st and 10, Purdy in the backfield, Debo in motion. It's a handoff to Guerendo. And he gets through the line. And the Lions trying to rip at that ball, but he gets 11 on the ground. We're almost done with the first quarter here, winding down to 1 minute. Both teams performing very well. I don't think there's been an incomplete pass. That clock has just kept running. We are under 4 minutes to play, both running games being very effective. 1st and 10 for the 49ers at the Lions' 34-yard line. Purdy in the shotgun use check in motion. Throws, and he's got Kittle. Kittle in the open field, got to get it to the 13 of the Lions. And that is yet another 49ers first down. So they had the 3rd and 4, but have since got, I believe, like 45 yards in back-to-back plays. And they are in the red zone once again. They line up quickly, seeing if they might get one off a playoff before the end of the quarter, but they might just be trying to draw Detroit offside, and they do. Undisciplined. And that's a rare thing you see from Dan Campbell's Lions, an undisciplined penalty there. The quarter's running out. Don't go offsides. That's what they're trying to do. They got 5 free yards. Now, Purdy did throw the ball on that one, thinking he had a free play, but it's actually encroachment. He touched the 49ers offensive lineman before the ball was snapped, so it's not actually a free play. Taking ownership of it. He knows he made a mistake there. So that looks like the clock wound after that. And so that wraps up the first quarter. We've got 49ers 7, Lions 6. You are listening to my live reactions here on the Dustytron channel. Yeah, so it was looking like the Lions were actually playing some decent defense there on the first set of downs. But after that, it's like I think the 49ers might have had 1 second down, and they're all the way down in the red zone. And then you saw that terrible encroachment penalty. All right, so actually looking into these blocked field goal stats, I'm actually surprised about how many actually get blocked. So 2023 had about 15, I think, so there's more this year already than all of last year. But looking at 2022, we have 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So there were 28 blocked field goals in 2022. That was the entire season. All right, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 all of 2021. So 2022 was a bad year for block kicks, but we weren't talking about it then, so that's kind of interesting. Oh, looks like there's even less in 2020. That odd season. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Only 13 blocked kicks in 2020. So yeah, it's not the worst year. 2022 seems like it was the worst year, but I think there's just been more high-profile blocks. So I may have been mistaken. This might not be the end of the first quarter. Hang on, let me... Okay, no, it was the end of the first quarter. All right, so we've got Purdy under center with a 1st and 5 at the 9-yard line. He's going to fake the handoff, throws to Juszczyk in the flat. He's got some room, and I think he got in. That is a Lions touchdown. Or sorry, 49ers touchdown. Kyle Juszczyk, one of the only real fullbacks still in the league. And I'm actually curious. Yeah, he is considered a fullback on ESPN. Yeah, there are very few fullbacks still in the league, but Kyle Juszczyk is one, and he's one of the best in the league right now. Yeah, and I think he definitely clears the plane there. So that's going to be 6 for the 49ers. Giving them 13. We'll see if Jake Moody can tack on the extra point. The kick is up and good, so that gives the 49ers 14, the Lions 6. Early in the second quarter, 49ers taking care of business against Detroit today. You're listening to my live reactions here on the Dustytron channel. Right, and I don't really know what the problem has been with San Francisco this year. I mean, you can point to the McCaffrey injury. I mean, that definitely causes a problem for sure, but they were so up and down. Like, there were some games, like when they had Jawan Jennings, the 3 touchdown passes against the Rams, they just blew them out. But then there are other games where it's just they don't seem to show up. They did utterly obliterate the... the Bears. That one didn't go so well for them. They lost, I think that was week 1 where they lost to the Vikings, but that we know the Vikings are a good team now, so you can't really count that one against them. The Vikings currently are holding the #1 seed, which is just crazy. Who would have thought that the Sam Darnold-led Vikings would be the #1 team in the NFC and the number 2 team in the league? Just to the Chiefs. Now, if the Vikings end up getting this, end up getting the #1 seed, you know they're gonna choke in the playoffs. They just always do. I actually heard somebody say, hey, wouldn't the best Super Bowl be the Vikings and the Bills? 2 of them, both teams 0-4 in the Super Bowl. One of them finally gonna get the win. I think that would just be an awesome story. Yeah, we're waiting for Lions' next drive to start up. (14-6), 49ers over the Lions here in the second quarter. Yeah, not too much traffic views-wise today. I think some people realize that this Monday Night Football game doesn't really have many implications. Lions can lose, and they can still win the division next week. So, yeah, it's one of those unfortunate situations where at the beginning of this year, the NFC Championship rematch, this looked like a great game on paper, just a little too late in the season, and you never really know what's going to happen on that. There is a flag down on the field on that kickoff. They're calling a legal formation on the Lions. Maybe someone lined up where they shouldn't. Shouldn't have. All right, we need to see some Sam Laporta catches here. Not seeing enough Sam Laporta. All right, Goff under center. Fakes the handoff to... Oh, there's Laporta. He's got a catch for 1 yard. But that's 0.6 points. Let's go. 2nd and 9 for the Lions upcoming. About 14 and a half minutes left in the second quarter. You're listening to my live reactions here on the Dustytron channel. All right, it's from their own 26, 2nd and 9, Goff out of the shotgun. Hands it off to Gibbs out of the shotgun, and that's about a 6-yard gain there. So we're looking at a 3rd and 3. Either 3rd and 3 or 3rd and 4. He was able to get up the middle. Looked like an inside zone run. 3rd and 4 we've got upcoming. As we wind under 14 minutes left in the second quarter. Yeah, I think the Lions, they need to respond again. Their defense didn't really show any answers to the 49ers. And it's Goff in the shotgun. Looking around, gets it to, oh, it's Laporta. We've got Laporta for a first down. Lions first down. Yeah, he's going to do like a little hook route there. Come back, sit down, show himself to Goff. Goff gets him a nice ball, and they're able to convert for the first down. All right, at their own 38-yard line, we've got Goff in the shotgun. Amon-Ra St. Brown in motion, going to the right side of the formation. And there he goes. It's a pitch to Gibbs. Gibbs gets about 7. Gonna have a 2nd and 3 upcoming. So the Lions putting together a decent drive so far of their own. About to cross midfield. And the 49ers defense was one of their strengths last year. It just has not shown up this year. So the 49ers in the I formation, Brock Wright where the fullback usually is, Gibbs behind him. It's a handoff to Gibbs, heavy dose of Gibbs, and he gets some separation there. Is able to get it all the way to the 40-yard line of the 49ers. It's about a 15-yard gain for Gibbs. And another Lions first down. Yeah, just excellent blocking and good vision by Gibbs on that run. We've been talking about it a lot. The Lions have an excellent O-line. They make great plays. All right, we got Sam Laporta moving in motion. Ends up on the left side of the line of scrimmage on the lineman. It's Goff in the shotgun. There's some people in the back. Oh, it's another pass to Laporta. There's a flag on the field, but he gets about 7 if the play stands. And it will not. It is holding on the offense, and it's going to remain first down, but it's going to be 1st and 20 for the Detroit Lions, going back to midfield. Yeah, Penei Sewell hooks Nick Bosa there, definitely gives Goff more time. Oh, but Laporta, yeah, he got a hit to the helmet there. Helmet-to-helmet hit. Hopefully he's okay. But you do have to wonder about that, how that one wasn't flagged. Laporta does look like he's in. He's at the right side of the line of scrimmage. Goff in the shotgun. He's got Craig Reynolds back. Goff rolls to the right a bit. Now comes back in the center. He's got Bosa on him, and Bosa gets to him. Loss of 4 on the sack. So it's going to be 2nd down, and it looks like there was a little bit of friendly fire. Yeah, I think Bosa, as he was trying to make a sack, one of his players tried to join in on the sack, and they rammed into each other, and it looks like that 49ers player is down. Yeah, you gotta hate it when significant injuries happen through friendly fire, through just a teammate hitting another. We've seen it with Rashee Rice. We saw it with Tank Dell, and now this. So hopefully the injury is not too serious. Just looking at some stats over here. Give us a stats roundup. All right, so just looking at some stats from the game. Goff, a perfect 4 for 4 for 36 yards, no touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs, 6 carries for 60 yards. He's averaging 10 yards a carry. Jamar Jefferson, 2 for 6. Jameson Williams, this is an interesting stat line. 2 carries for -2 yards and a touchdown. He's averaging -1 yards per carry, but has a touchdown. Craig Reynolds has 1 catch for 26 yards. Sam Laporta, 2 catches for 7 yards. He actually had 3, but 1 was taken away by a holding penalty. Jameson Williams, 1 catch for 3 yards. Taking a look at the 49ers here. Yeah, like, there has not been an incomplete pass in this game so far. It's why this game is going so fast. 7 for 7 for Brock Purdy. 82 yards, 2 touchdowns. Deebo Samuel leading, well, he's tied for the yardage lead with Guerendo. He's got 3 carries. Deebo Samuel has 3 carries. Isaiah Guerendo has 4. Ricky Pearsall with 1. Brock Purdy's run the ball twice. So yeah, those are some stats right there. Some team stats. 49ers with 121 yards of total offense. Detroit with 96. And it's 2nd and 24. The Lions have quite the hole to pull themselves out of here. Goff in the shotgun has Gibbs back. Drops back. Throws it to Gibbs in the flat. That's all. Oh, he got hit at only about 4 yards, but was able to get about another 5 out of it. Shifty move by Gibbs. Able to get more out of that. So they pick up 12. 3rd and 12 for Detroit. We've got empty backfield, 5 wide receivers for the Lions. 3rd and 12. They made it a lot more manageable on that play. Throws it to, they do a toss. And it's Jameson Williams in the open field. He's going to get a touchdown. So it was a short pass to Amon-Ra St. Brown. We've seen the Lions do this before. And then Jameson Williams comes and gets a pitch from Amon-Ra St. Brown and takes it for a touchdown. Lions pumped on the field. That was an amazing play. And they've done it a lot this year. You really should expect the Lions to do trickery like that. So we've got 14-12 right now. Wonder if Dan Campbell will go for 2. That was a nice pitch, and they set up Laporta with the block. He kind of whiffs on the block, but Jameson Williams just so fast. I don't know what to tell you. This has just been my cursed fantasy week. Couldn't have Jameson Williams do go. This was good. This was a boom game. Both Lions touchdowns have gone to Jameson Williams. Just everything went wrong for me in this championship week. I was going for my 4-peat in Dynasty. I had 3 players get injured and out for the season in the final week. So they do kick the field goal, the extra point here. It is good. So the Lions, they're still down by 1, but they were faced with a 2nd and 24 and end up getting a touchdown 2 plays later. That is the explosiveness of this Lions offense, and they're keeping themselves in the game with 10:09 left in the second. 14-13, 49ers over the Lions. You're listening to my live reactions here on the Dustytron channel. But yeah, going back to some of the team stat lines here. Passing yards, I'll do a refresher now that there's actually those few plays happened. Goff, 6-6. Yeah, the quarterbacks still have not thrown an incomplete pass yet. 89 yards and a touchdown. Yeah, that does technically count as a touchdown pass, even though it's more the play that got the touchdown for him was more the lateral from Amon-Ra St. Brown to Jameson Williams. So you'd almost say it's more of a run play, but it was a pass to Amon-Ra. I wonder who gets credit for the... Yeah, Jameson Williams gets credit for the touchdown catch, even though it was Amon-Ra St. Brown who got it first and pitched it to him. All right, so just out of curiosity, let's see how badly I'm losing my championship here. I was up by 4. And yeah, now I'm losing by 13. Now, if it's any consolation, I am losing to the #1 seed. 2 of my championships, I was the 2nd seed. I was playing the #1 seed. And then, yeah, I lost to the #1 seed. So it's a little bit of consolation that it's like, yeah, I lost to the best team. But still, I was hoping to at least pull one out. And then the other one, I was in a guillotine league, where it's a concept league where it's the lowest scoring team each week gets cut from the league and all of their players go to waivers. And I had somehow been able to make my team work. Like, I didn't have the best team, but I got all the way to the final 2 and just couldn't get that last one. I mean, it's not over yet, but Jahmyr Gibbs is... Well, let's take a look. Has Sam Laporta closed the gaps on Gibbs at all? Probably not, because he's catching passes and has 60 yards rushing already. So I would assume that is not the case. Yeah, Gibbs has 10 compared to... it has 8 compared to Laporta's 2.7. That's not going to get the job done. All right, we have the kickoff here. Appears to be a touchback. 10:09 left in the second quarter. And the 49ers will start this drive from the 30-yard line. 14-13, 49ers over the Lions. We still only have one view. People are not interested in this game. I got more views for the Bears-Vikings 2 weeks ago. And that's a short pass to Juwan Jennings, and he's able to get a first down on it. Still, neither quarterback has thrown an incomplete pass, let alone an interception. All right, we've got a handoff to Guerendo, and he's going to get, I want to say that's like a 7-yard run, pushing the pile. It's going to be a first down. All right, we've got a 1st and 10. For San Francisco. Lions defense has to show they can do something here. Got Deebo Samuel in motion from the right to the left. They fake the handoff to him. It's another handoff to Guerendo. He only gets 1. So this is going to be a 2nd and 9. Lions, they just really got to get him off the field here. The Achilles heel is going to be the Lions defense. It's like they're becoming the Cincinnati Bengals this year. Their offense is doing all these amazing things, And the defense was really good when they had their playmakers, but they're just so injured, they just aren't able to do much. Ricky Pearsall in motion, gets a handoff, and that's going to be about a 3-yard gain, gets hit hard. As we wind under 8 minutes left in the half. Wow, Pearsall even having a little trouble with the handoff there when he initially gets it. So definitely having a little trouble with ball handling today, but it hasn't come back to bite him yet. 3rd and 7 from about midfield. Can the 49ers get this? The last time they were on 3rd down last drive, they then just knifed down the rest of the field. Purdy back to throw. No pressure whatsoever. Goes long. It's a wobbly pass, but Pearsall's wide open. And he gets it down to the 8-yard line of the Lions. A wobbly pass that if you feel like if he had just gotten it a little bit better on the spiral there, might have been able to lead Pearsall for a touchdown. But it kind of hung up there way too long. Yeah, this just looks like might have been like an offensive pick a little bit there. Terrion Arnold definitely gets a little stuck at the line of scrimmage. Pearsall runs right by him. And I mean, if Purdy gets that a little tighter on there, that's Pearsall for a touchdown. And we get a toss to Guerendo, and lots of Lions in the backfield, but he somehow gets it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain. We're going to have 2nd and goal. And both quarterbacks, still no incompletions. We have a perfect game so far. Yeah, the Lions getting absolutely no pressure on the 49ers today. No pressure on Purdy. They have that 1 sack. But yeah, no incompletions and 2 touchdown passes. Purdy in the pocket. Steps up, fakes the throw, and he took it in all the way himself. Touchdown, Brock Purdy. And that's 3 drives, 3 touchdowns for the San Francisco 49ers. They lead 20-13 over Detroit. The defense has no answers for the San Francisco 49ers offense right now. Yeah, and I mean, it's a good play by Purdy when he's going up the exposed pocket there. Fakes it to the receiver in the flat. It causes hesitation by the linebacker. I believe it was Jack Campbell. It freezes him for a second. He's able to get the rest of the yardage he needs. Jake Moody gonna kick the extra point, and that one's through the uprights. So we have got 21-13 San Francisco over Detroit. You're listening to my live reactions here on the Dustytron channel. All right, we did get a view. We have 2 views tonight. And unfortunately, it's actually a back and forth, fairly exciting game, but yeah, just not receiving the interest. Probably will call it in the 3rd quarter if we don't pick up a little bit here. But yeah, we've got Brock Purdy, 9 of 9, 2 touchdowns passing, 1 rushing, and Jared Goff, 6 of 6 for a touchdown. This is just efficiency right here. I mean, the total numbers aren't staggering. Brock Purdy with 131 passing yards. Jared Goff just with 89. Like, they're not putting up, like, huge numbers. These aren't huge plays. But, yeah, they are not throwing incompletions. Yeah, I would say the pass to Pearsall, that was about a 35-yarder. And then the hook and ladder play to Jameson Williams. Those are really the only big plays of this game so far. Gotta congratulate my opponent who beat me with Jameson Williams. All right, we have the kickoff. It is kicked and a touchback. We started out with 2 returns, but we've had touchbacks ever since. All right, we've got Jared Goff huddling up the lines again. Feel like every time they're coming on the field, they're like, oh my gosh, we got to respond again. So we'll see if they can do it this drive. You really do get the feeling that first team, okay, hands it off to Gibbs, no gain there. Yeah, first team to make a mistake here is going to fall behind. All right. We've got 2nd and 12 from the 28-yard line. It's Goff from the shotgun. Bosa coming around, but gets Gibbs, and Gibbs is streaking. Oh my goodness, he's getting towards the 50. Got out of bounds at the 47. Yeah, that looked like it was going to go for a lot longer, but he only got like 5 extra yards after catching it in stride across the middle of the field. All right, so it's at the 47-yard line. Amon-Ra Brown in motion from the left to the right. It's a play action. Goff, that's a odd play. It's an incomplete pass. Looks like what they were trying to get out was broken. That's the best I can say there. He throws it at the feet of Gibbs. The 49ers reacted as if it was a fumble, like if he didn't get it forward or whatnot. But yeah, I think he definitely, he throws it forward. And it's Jamar Jefferson there. Yeah, he's just kind of grounding the ball because whatever they were trying to do downfield just wasn't there. Ooh. All right, Goff under center. From the 47, back to throw. Throws, all right, they've got a screen this time. It looks like it's to Gibbs. And he's going to get about 7 on that screenplay. Bring up a 3rd and 3. They're near midfield, so I feel like this is Dan Campbell go for it territory. He knows his defense isn't doing anything. We've got a 3rd and 3 here. Goff takes it, and it's Amon-Ra St. Brown gets drilled, but able to hold on for a 4-yard gain and the first down. Yeah, I feel like Amon-Ra might not have gotten drilled as much if the pass wasn't as lofty, but he does kind of float it to him in the flat there, and he got blasted. And still no incomplete passes. As we wind under 4 minutes. In the second quarter, Goff from the shotgun takes the snap, hands it off. I believe that's Craig Reynolds. It is. And he's going to get 8. That's about the 34-yard line of the 49ers. So Lions making their way down the field. It's 21-13, 49ers over the Lions, as we have about 3.5 minutes left in the second quarter. And yeah, the Lions receive here, so you can kind of tell they're in no hurry. They really want to make sure that this is the last drive if they can make that be the case. Or maybe they just take off as much time as possible, make the 49ers use some of their timeouts. But yeah, they're running the ball again. Craig Reynolds gets it down at the 29. That's a first down for the Lions. About the 29-yard line. Not quite in the red zone yet, but definitely inching closer. And yeah, it would not surprise me in the least if the if the Lions are just purposely running that clock down so the 49ers don't get another shot at a drive before half. And you got to wonder when the 49ers are going to start taking their timeouts. So yeah, this is going to run below 2 minutes and 40 seconds. So the Lions, if they run the play here and the 49ers don't take time, they can run it down to the 2-minute warning. Goff under center calling signals. Play clock running down. Amon-Ra in motion. They throw the ball. Amon-Ra gets the first down. Stays in bounds. That's smart. He stayed in bounds. The 49ers corner was trying to drag him out of bounds, but he keeps himself inbounds. He's down at the 15. And yeah, the Lions, they're going to take this down to the 2-minute warning. I think they're hoping. Okay, so I'm incorrect. It looks like Jerry. Oh, yeah, he does have one incompletion. He grounded the ball at the feet of Jamar Jefferson. My bad. But of passes where he was really trying to complete the ball, he hasn't thrown an incompletion yet. We have reached the 2-minute warning. It is 21-13, 49ers over the Lions. But the Lions in the red zone. Once again, there have been no punts, no defense, just offense. We are in a shootout here. And it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out. And it's really going to be how both teams can manage the clock. And I really think that the Lions, their number one priority here, of course, they want to get a touchdown. Number two priority, leave as little time as possible on that clock because their defense is doing nothing against San Francisco right now. All right. Taking a look at these refreshed stats. Goff is over 100 yards passing right now, 133 yards. Jahmyr Gibbs, 58 yards rushing on 7 carries. He also has 3 receptions for 37 yards. But yeah, the Lions running backs averaging lots of yards per carry. Gibbs is averaging 8.3 a tote, and Craig Reynolds is averaging 6.5 per carry. I think that just speaks to the might of their offensive line. Deebo Samuel averaging 5.3 yards per carry, 3 for 16. They're giving Guerendo a lot more carries, though. Guerendo has 7. Not being super effective with it, though. Only 3.7 a carry. And I'm sure Jamar Chase fantasy owners were upset that T. Higgins got all of Burrow's touchdown catches against Denver. 3 of them. Chase still had over 100 receiving yards, but not a single touchdown. I heard he dropped one, too, which is very unlike Jamar Chase. All right, we've got the Lions. They hand it off to Jahmyr Gibbs. He's going to get nothing. Taken down at the line of scrimmage. Number 53. Let's see who that is. That's D. Winters. D. Winters gets him right at the line of scrimmage. So yeah, it's going to be a 2nd and 10, and it's under a minute and a half now. 49ers do not call time. It's a screen pass to Amon-Ra. He's going to get 5. Are the 49ers going to call time now? Looks like they do. They call it on 2nd down, 3rd and 5 from the 10-yard line. But hey, if you're Detroit, you at least got them to take one of their timeouts. It's going to make going down the field that much more difficult. But yeah, I am curious to see how Detroit does with clock management here. And we've seen Dan Campbell make some really gutsy calls based on really, I hate to say it, but not believing in his defense or just being a realist about it and just knowing that his offense is going to win him the game, not his defense. Goff in the shotgun, hands it off to Gibbs on 3rd down. He's going to get 3, but he's going to be 2 yards short. And you do wonder, I think that was a play. It's like, hey, let's get a little closer, make it a more manageable 4th down. They make the 49ers use another timeout. So the 49ers only have 1 timeout left. And honestly, like, if the Lions get this 1st down, the 49ers, they won't be able to call enough timeouts to get the ball back, so they might just save it. And then maybe Detroit can run down the clock as much as they want. They've got 3 timeouts, so if they get in goal-to-go territory, they can run the clock down, call time, and they really have control over the clock. So I'm really interested to see how they can manage it. It's 4th and 3, Goff out of the shotgun. They do have to pick this 4th down up. If they don't pick up the 4th down, then there's going to everything I was just talking about is moot. Goff throws for the end zone. Oh, it was to Laporta, and it's knocked away. I could have gotten a Laporta touchdown, but I am deprived of that. And we see our first defensive stop of the night. Yeah, I don't know if I really agree. It's a good play by the 49ers corner there. Getting his hand in between the hands of Laporta. Is number 0, Renardo Green. That was a good play, but yeah, the 49ers, they're at their own, I want to say, 8-yard line, and they only have 1 timeout. So the Lions did a good job taking timeouts away from San Francisco, and it's going to be difficult for them to get down the field. So, I mean, I guess if you're able to get the stop here, you do feel like the Lions definitely got a little bit conservative because they were thinking more of the clock than actual scoring there. But if you think about it, it's kind of the same difference if they got a touchdown there, didn't take the 3 timeouts, and then the 49ers just went down and got another touchdown. So it would be the same 8-point difference. So they tried to go a little conservative, try to focus on running down the clock. Didn't quite work out for them. But yeah, I know. Ever since Goff, we were talking about him being perfect. Now he's got 2 incompletions. And I would say that's the first real incompletion. The first one was dropping it at the feet of Jamar Jefferson. That one, it was a good pass. Might have needed a little bit more zip on it. The 49ers were able to get their hand in there, knock it away. All right, we picked up another view. If anyone is watching out there, feel free to subscribe to the channel and give us a like. It helps the channel grow a bunch. I appreciate it. So we'll see. There's not much time left in the half. I think it was like a minute and 3 seconds. Let's see, NFL.com over here. Sorry, I was close. Minute 13. I had the 3. I just didn't have the 1. But the Lions, they're kind of playing catch-up this whole game. It really does feel like the 49ers are the aggressors here, and you gotta wonder about that heading into the playoffs. So Purdy, oh, he's scrambling around in trouble in his end zone, gonna throw that one away. Minute 4 left, and there's his first incompletion. So we had almost a full half of perfect quarterback play from at least a completion standpoint, and now both quarterbacks have thrown incompletions. Minute 4 left, 2nd and 10. Yeah, the 49ers have the ball on their own 8-yard line. Play clock winding down. It's at 7 seconds. Deebo moving from left to right. Purdy in the shotgun. They're still going for this. Purdy throws long. Oh my gosh, he has Garendo on the halfback wheel, and he's going to get to the 40-yard line. So that's a big play. Honestly, that was odd that Garendo did not go out of bounds. He caught the ball on the sideline. He got it all the way to the 43, but this is wasting precious time, and they want to preserve that timeout. Purdy in the shotgun. Oh, there's some trouble back in the backfield, but Garendo, does he get out of bounds this time? Yes, he does. Gets about an 8-yard gain there. Yeah, Garendo just gets behind the linebacker there. I feel like situationally, that's just not smart. Not smart situational football by the Lions there. They let someone get behind them. All right. We've got a 2nd and 2. 49ers still have their timeout. 33 seconds left. I mean, you gotta wonder here. All right, they get it to Pearsall. He's out at the Lions. I want to say that's the 38. I could be wrong about that. Yeah, and with this little amount of time and only one timeout, the 49ers are going all the way down the field. This is a disgrace how poorly this Lions defense is playing. They just cannot stop the 49ers. Yeah, it's the 38-yard line. So, yeah, the 49ers inching closer and closer to field goal range. There's a completion to Jauan Jennings. Got the ball hit out of his hands, but it plays in the... It doesn't really hurt the 49ers. Granted, it didn't go forward, but it does roll out of bounds. But it goes for 9. It's going to be a 2nd and 1. And I guess since it went backwards, the clock was running after it was snapped. So they had to spike the ball. So, oh, that's a great punch out by Robertson there. And yeah, I think since the ball went backwards out of bounds, it was still running. The clock was technically still running when the official placed the ball. So they spike it. It's a 3rd and 2. 20 seconds left on the clock. The 49ers still have that timeout. They're at the 30-yard line, so definitely in field goal range. Purdy takes the snap. Gonna throw across the middle to Kittle. He's got a lot of room. He's going barreling. Got it to the 6-yard line. There is a flag on the play. Let's see what happened. He got wide open there. And it looks like this one's coming back. They might be getting offensive PI, perhaps a pick play that got Kittle open. Yep, they're calling offensive pass interference. Yeah, when you get crossers across the middle and one guy gets wide open, they might call offensive pass interference on that. Yeah, the receiver kind of just pushes Jack Campbell into the other defender, and that springs Kittle open. So I think that's a good call there. But yeah, you gotta wonder just, my goodness, the Lions giving up all this yardage. Now, they're probably safe for a touchdown before the half because I bet the 49ers, they're probably going to run a play here on 3rd and 12 to regain some of that yardage, take the timeout, kick the field goal. So it was dicey, but they've at least held them to the field goal attempt. Kittle gets the short pass there. It's going to get about 6. 4th down, 7 seconds on the clock. That's probably not going to run out the half. Purdy has not gone to the sideline yet. All right, yeah, now he has. Moody comes in. I'm guessing this is at like the 30-yard line. This is going to be about, what, a 45-yard field goal attempt? 5 yards back, 10 yards for the end zone. Oh, okay, I'm wrong. It's a 51-yard field goal attempt. Yeah, they weren't quite at the 30. They were more at the 34-yard line. Moody's had struggles. Can he add 3 on? The kick is up and it's drifting. It's no good. No good. And so that's the 49ers' first drive to come up without points. And you can be rest assured that the Lions, they're just going to kneel on this one. Go into the half. That was way too close for comfort. The 49ers started with 1 minute and 13 seconds on their 8-yard line. And before the penalty, that was the offensive pass interference, they got it all the way down to the Lions' 8-yard line. So they're going to have to make some halftime adjustments, but this has been rough. Goff takes the knee, and we are at half. It is 21-13, 49ers over the Lions. Here at halftime, you're listening to my live reactions here on the Dustytron channel. Yeah, and I think both teams are really running balanced offense. They're getting the run going, which is setting up play action. They're getting things working in the passing game. So both teams, their final drive before half doesn't get points, but before that, all 3 drives for the 49ers ended in touchdowns. The 2 other drives for the Lions ended in touchdowns. So unless some major adjustments are made at halftime, you're thinking that we're going to see more of the same in the second half. All right, anyone who's watching live, feel free to subscribe or like the channel or the video. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. It helps our growth out a lot here. Just starting up, doing some of these streams for fun. But yeah, we had a very action-packed first half there. Little to no defense. I feel like the defense we did see at the end of the half was more luck. Now, granted, the 4th down play by the 49ers, I do feel like that was a good play by the corner there to break up that pass to Laporta, which was unfortunate because, as I've been mentioning, I need Laporta to get points. That would have helped. I mean, it was a long shot to begin with, especially with Gibbs having a pretty good game. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, because if Gibbs is going off, didn't really have much of a chance there. Needed Gibbs to basically do nothing. Yeah, Gibbs with 12.7. Laporta with 2.7. I needed Laporta to outscore Gibbs by at least 12. But he's trailing him by 10. This isn't looking great. Yeah. Oh, hey, Sam. How's it going? Thanks for joining. Yeah, that was a tough one. I feel like Goff could have gotten a little bit more mustard on that and gotten it to Laporta. But yeah, we'll see. I'm concerned about this Lions defense. I mean, the 49ers, they've been struggling all year to get offensive consistency. And this is looking like the 49ers of last year, where their offense was just firing on all cylinders. And this Lions defense just can't do anything about it. But you got to give credit to the offense. They've been getting creative. They've been responding as much as they can, but you do feel like if the Lions offense just doesn't get a touchdown every possession, they're not going to win this game. Now, they do have a chance to make it, to lessen the gap here, because they do receive to start the next half. Yeah, I know. It's kind of like, I like the Lions. I feel like I've been streaming a lot of Lions. I'm kind of becoming like a Lions channel here. But, yeah, like, I feel I want the Lions to do well. So, and I saw Jameson Williams. I needed him to not do well in a different league, but it's like they're doing well. It's like, okay, I can only be so mad about that. I just had it was one of those fantasy championship weeks where it's just everything went wrong. I got second place in two of them. One of them was a winner take all league, and I got second place in that, so it's like made it almost all the way, but just didn't quite get that last win. Yeah, you almost feel like the 49ers are playing a very aggressive game, like they've got something to prove against the Lions here. I came into this game thinking it was going to be the reverse, where the Lions were going to like almost toy with the 49ers like they did with the Cowboys earlier in the year and get revenge for that NFC Championship game, but it's kind of seeming like that's not the case. Now, if you need a game where the Lions aren't going to show up, this might be the one, because they really need to win that one against Minnesota next week. So maybe, I'd hate to say like the 49ers is looking past your opponent, but the Vikings, like, they really do need. It was a hard fought game last time, and so I think that the Lions might just be looking forward a little too much to the Vikings game. Yeah, I know. It's surprisingly, it's only the second, but I feel like I've talked to, and maybe that's because you're a Lions fan. I've talked a lot about the Lions. And it's a fun season to talk about the Lions. They're performing really well. They're an exciting team, and I want them to do well. So yeah, I'm contemplating streaming the Sunday Night Football matchup next week between the Lions and the Vikings. So that'll be a third Lions game. So haven't decided if I'm gonna do that one or not yet. Right. It's like you can still get the number one seed next week if you just beat Minnesota. Sam, I didn't look it up before the game. Do you know if the Eagles are still in contention? No, I don't think. I don't think the Eagles can actually get it. No, they can't, because either the Vikings or the Lions are going to win next week, which means either the Vikings or the Lions are going to get the number one seed. Because the Vikings have only 2 losses, so if they win, they would still only have 2 losses, and Philadelphia has 3. Which means if the only way the Eagles could get it, well, okay, so if the Lions lose tonight and the Eagles win, maybe the Eagles get the number one seed. Because I think if we're looking at the playoff picture right now. Yeah, so well, that's hard to tell because the Eagles are just the second. So that doesn't really tell me if the Eagles actually have the tiebreaker over the Lions. Yeah, so we got blown out this week. I'm kind of hoping that I kind of see Carolina as 2 years off. We need to build some offensive stability pieces, and we really need to fix the defense. But I like what I've been seeing. Oh, we've got Big Buck in the chat. Okay, so you got the tiebreaker over both? That's cool. Yes, that literally makes this game worthless. But yeah, we'll see what what the Lions can do here in the second half. All right. I guess, Sam, what do you see happening? Yeah, I was talking about it earlier in the stream too, where it's like I feel like the week 18 matchups, there's just not really much to play for here. I think like you have a couple of games where it's like the teams aren't playing each other. I'm thinking of the Bucks and Saints and the Falcons Panthers. Like those games have meaning but kind of separate from each other. If the Bucks win and the Falcons lose, the Bucks get in. If the Falcons win and the Bucks lose, then the Falcons get in. Yeah, you're just kind of digging yourself into a hole that you can't stop the 49ers at all, and it just almost feels like at the end of the half there was almost luck that you didn't give up points there, because before the offensive PI call, the 49ers got down to the 8-yard line in only a minute and 13 seconds with only one timeout. I was talking about like the Lions were on the offense there were actually doing a good job of making the 49ers burn their timeouts, because you could tell they were kind of slowing down a bit. They didn't want to score right away because they were like, okay, well, if we score too fast, the 49ers are just going to go down and get another touchdown. I feel like they're kind of just playing defense against their own defense, and that's really going to hinder them down the stretch. I don't like it. But yeah, really, we've got pretty much all the playoff spots clinched up here. Me being a Panthers fan and hating the Broncos, I would love to see the Broncos choke in this final week, lose to the Carson Wentz-led Chiefs, and I would love to see the Bengals get in. But the Bengals need both the Broncos and the Dolphins to lose, and I just don't think it's going to happen. Now, I was talking at the beginning of the stream, if I were Kansas City, I might almost lose the game to the Broncos on purpose, because that makes it so that the Bengals don't make the playoffs. And the Bengals are one of the few teams that beat the Chiefs with any regularity. So I feel like it's in the Chiefs' best interest to lose that game so that the Bengals don't get in. Yeah, I know. So much NFC and AFC North representation. Unfortunately, the Bears had to start being crappy this year, and we didn't get an entire division making the playoffs. I do feel like it'd be really interesting to see that at some point, since the NFL expanded to 7 teams in the playoffs. I think it would be really interesting to see an entire division make it. I'm kind of just the little geek in me is hoping for that to happen, but it's hard for it to happen, because especially if you have an entire division making the playoffs, that means they're getting a lot of wins, so those losses have to be distributed somewhere, and usually there's a bottom feeder in that division. So, and plus the teams in the division play each other so much. They each have 6 divisional games. If you've got teams at the top, then there's one team that's absorbing all those losses and having basically at least 6 losses. Yeah, no, it's never happened because it couldn't before. Now with the 7 teams, it actually can. So I'm hoping for it. It'll probably happen at some point. We've come close a couple of seasons. It was the NFC West one year, I think, was really close with the Seahawks, 49ers, and Rams. But then the Cardinals didn't quite pull their weight that year. But yeah, I think either it was close or I was predicting at the beginning of the season that that was going to happen. I guess that's fair. Yeah, if they only lost to each other, yeah, it's 3 losses each. Yeah, that would be curious if they beat everyone else but just beat each other up in the division. All right, looks like we're getting ready for the second half here. Detroit is going to receive. You're listening to my live reactions here on the Dustytron channel. It is kicked away. And it's going to be returned. A surprising return. And he gets it to the 34-yard line. So speaking of returns, I actually saw a kickoff return touchdown this last week in that surprising Giants upset over the Colts. Yeah, I don't think that would ever happen, Sam. That would be insane. But it would be really interesting if it ever did. All right, Goff under center. Throws. Oh, a nice pass between 2 defenders. Amon-Ra gets it and comes down with it for about a 13-yard gain and a Lions first down, but Amon-Ra a little gimpy after that one. We'll see what happened. He does make the catch. It's a great catch. And you do have to wonder at some point, you know it's Dan Campbell, you know he's going to play his people, but you need to be able to win next week. You need to be at full strength or as full strength as you can be. Oh, he's going to Amon-Ra. There's another completion. They cross midfield. They're at the 49ers' 47-yard line. So we're getting some chunk plays down the field here. All right, Goff under center. Amon-Ra in motion. Hands it off to Jahmyr Gibbs. Nick Bosa in the backfield gets him. That's going to be a loss of 1, so we're going to have a 3rd and 5. And I think that this has Dan Campbell 4th down all over it if they don't get it here and get a little closer. They're on the 49ers side of the field. All right, they line up. We're ticking under 13 minutes in the 3rd quarter. 3rd and 5. Goff out of the shotgun. Looks. He's got his man. Believe that's Jameson Williams. Jameson Williams having a big night. 2 touchdowns already. Gets a huge 3rd down catch there. Goes for about 10. What a catch. In the Lions, their offense, they're just making these really clutch plays. Dan Campbell is pleased with that. No, I'm already done in that league. That one doesn't matter. He needed, I couldn't have him have more than 4 points. It's way past that. All right, Jahmyr Gibbs gets the handoff, goes right, loses about 1 yard on the run. The 49ers snuff that one out. Yeah, so it's unfortunate that Montgomery got injured because it does unfortunately look like they won't get the 1,200 yard rushers. Yeah, and you almost kind of wonder, Sam, if that's because he's getting an increased workload with Montgomery out of the mix. He's less of a change of pace back now and more of a every down back, and that just might not be his style. And that's a 5-yard run by Gibbs there. All right, so we got a 3rd and 5 again. Will Goff look Williams' way again? I really wish all of this Jameson Williams volume was going to Sam Laporta, but that's just selfish me. I forgot to update this to be the 3rd quarter. It still says it's halftime. All right, we got Goff back to throw. Oh my gosh, is that Allen Robinson? Yeah, that's Allen Robinson making the catch for about 15 yards. Allen Robinson, who after his time on the Bears kind of just dropped off the radar. I was huge on Allen Robinson going to the Rams, and he just did nothing there. I remember he was a 6th round fantasy pick that year. Thought he was going to be great, and he did nothing. All right, so we've got a 1st and goal here at the 10-yard line. Goff fakes the handoff, throws into the end zone. A little overthrown for Amon-Ra there. All right, we're going to have a 2nd and goal upcoming. Yeah, we had almost a perfect Jared Goff half. Oh, I'm going out of focus there. Come on. Focus. Jared Goff in the backfield. Hands it off to Gibbs. Gibbs trying to go up the middle. Didn't quite work. Trying to get this camera refocused here. There we go. Oh, there we go. All right, it's focused again. Little technical difficulty there. All right, we got a 3rd and goal. Lions been doing very well on 3rd down. They're at the 6-yard line. Goff in the shotgun. He's got 2 receivers to his right. Gibbs in the backfield. Throws, and there's Laporta for the touchdown. Sam Laporta gets a touchdown on the board. Now he just needs about 2 more of those. Yeah, we totally did. And he was targeted earlier in the end zone. It was just a good play by the 49ers corner to break up that pass. But yeah, this one, Goff gets a little bit more zip on it. Oh, and here comes I actually added 7 onto that. They're going for the 2-point conversion now. Goff takes the snap. He's got some guys in the backfield, throws, and he's got it. Tim Patrick with the catch, and the Lions tie the game up at 21. All right, that is what the Lions needed to do. We have got a tied game here, and we need to see this defense do something. There's 9 minutes and 58 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. We are knotted up at 21 between the Lions and the 49ers. You're listening to my live reactions here on the Dustytron channel. Yeah, finally a game. We just need to see the Lions defense do something, though. End of the half, I feel like the 49ers just ran out of time. We really need to see a Lions defensive stop, or even better, a turnover. A turnover would be pretty good. But yeah, taking a look at some of the stats here now. Goff 16 of 19, just shy of 200 yards passing. That's 196 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Gibbs, 13 carries for 68 yards, still averaging above 5 a carry. He was at about like 8 a carry at one point, which was just crazy. It's down to 5.2 now. Craig Reynolds, 2 rushes for 13 yards, 6.5. Jermar Jefferson. Sam, Jermar Jefferson, has he been on the Lions this whole time? Wasn't he drafted back in like 2020 or something like that? Yeah, I know. Are any of them slated to come back soon? I thought I heard Anzalone was going to come back somewhat soon. Yeah, we've got Brock Purdy at an even 200 yards, 2 touchdowns passing, and he ran one in. Okay, yeah, that would make sense if he was drafted in 2020. Yeah, this would probably, or either 2019 or 2020. That would probably be like his 5th year, and or maybe they didn't take the 5th year. He was drafted in 2020. I only remember because I drafted him in like a deep dynasty league. I'm like, oh, Jermar Jefferson, and I saw him run for a touchdown one play. He's probably still on my taxi squad in one of my leagues. All right, we've got a return by the 49ers here. Debo. Breaking tackles, I think he got it to about the 38. Yeah, I heard Aiden Hutchinson is trending more Super Bowl, not championship game. But that would be crazy if he did somehow get back for the championship game. All right, we've got holding on the returns, so that's going to take some yardage away from the 49ers there. Make the start a little bit more difficult, but as we saw at the end of the half, bad field position doesn't even stop this offense. They were at their own 8-yard line and were able to get into field goal range with only 1 minute and 13 seconds and 1 timeout left in the half. So this Lions, they probably got screamed and yelled at halftime. They got to really pull their weight here. Purdy back to throws, and it's going to be Jauan Jennings. He's open, makes the catch, but definitely gets hit pretty hard there. And it's going to be a 49ers first down. That's about a 13-yard pickup. Yeah, I really feel like Anzalone coming back will be big, though. He's one of those, he's the spirit of the defense. He really motivates the players around him. Like, I'm not even convinced he's necessarily the best player, but he's a very team player and motivational player. So, but yeah, the 49ers have it at the 29 with a 1st and 10. They hand it off to Guerendo, and that's going to be about a 4-yard gain. Jack Campbell and one other guy helps bring him down. Guerendo fought for about another yard there after first contact. As we run under 9 minutes left in the third quarter, here in the third quarter. 2nd and 5 from the 35, so it was a 5-yard run. Use check in motion. Purdy in the backfield. Throws. Oh my goodness, he's got Pearsall wide open. Pearsall going all the way down to the 26-yard line of the Lions. What is going on with this Lions secondary? They cannot do anything tonight. And for those who are live watching, please feel free to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Helps our growth out a lot. Yeah, Pearsall just gets in behind the defense there. All right, Purdy throws it in the flat to Kittle. Oh, missed the tackle. Kittle running towards the end zone. Gets it to the 4-yard line. So we were hoping the Lions defense would do something here, but it has not. It's more of the same. Well, and I know the Lions secondary was a problem last year, but then you brought in Carlton Davis and a couple of other vets, and it got better. All right, we've got a play action. Purdy is going to throw that away. He might have had Jennings there, but wasn't able to get it to him. And we've got 2nd and goal. Yeah, I know. The 49ers just marched right down the field. And from their perspective, this is a great response to just kind of trying to quash the momentum that the Lions got on the last drive. So, got to give them credit. This is a really nice drive to respond with. Kittle looks like he might have gotten a bit shaken up on that last play. Purdy in the shotgun, has Garendo in the backfield with him. Debo in motion. They toss it to Debo, trying to hit the edge. Is he able to get there? He is. That's a touchdown for San Francisco. They knife right down the field and reclaim the lead. 27-21. That is probably the worst Lions defensive stance of the night. They did nothing on that drive. 49ers absolutely imposed their will. Only 6 plays to go 84 yards down the field. Aaron Glenn, he's got to get his players together. This is just not working. Jake Moody to attempt the point after. Kick is up, and it's good. So the 49ers reclaim a 7-point lead, 28-21, with 7:40 left in the third quarter. You're listening to my live reactions here on the Dustytron channel. Hey, I can at least say this. This game is more exciting than the Bears and Vikings. That Bears and Vikings game was awful. At least we've got stuff happening in this one. It's like, oh, Monday Night Football, Saints-Packers last week. I was like, not going to do that one. It was actually funny. I had a 7-leg parlay alternate spreads, just trying to do like super conservative alternate spreads. And just for the fun of it, I put Saints as plus 27.5 on there. And I was like, come on, they can't lose by 28. That's going to be ridiculous. They got to at least be a little tiny bit competitive. But I was getting a really bad feeling going into the game, and DraftKings offered me a cash out on it. And I'm like, you know what? I think the Saints are going to get obliterated. And I cashed out, and it totally was the right decision. Yeah, that was a really sad game. I mean, kudos to the Packers. They got the only shutout of the season. But, Sam, did you see the Colts and Giants game? That one was utterly ridiculous. I was like, why couldn't they... Like, it's just something about the Colts. In recent memory, they just keep choking in the last few games of the season. I remember back in 2021, they got obliterated by the Urban Meyer. Well, Urban Meyer wasn't there at the time, but it was the Urban Meyer Jaguars. The Jags won like 31-10. The Colts weren't even competitive in it. And then they go into MetLife here, playoffs on the line, and they just get destroyed by New York. Like, they got down 21-6, made it look like a game for a little bit, but never took the lead. And then the Giants, that hindered me in one of my leagues. I started the Colts defense thinking that they would do well against the Giants, and they got me -3. And then I was like, oh, if I had just bet against my Panthers and played the Bucs defense, they would have gotten me 17, and that might have flipped the script there. So, I just made like every wrong choice in fantasy this championship weekend. It was awful. I know, yeah. And it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, maybe the Giants would have traded down because Schroeder Sanders wasn't going to go there anyway. But Giants do really need a quarterback. And now I think they pick up 4. Which, who knows? Maybe Schroeder Sanders will fall that far, but... So the Lions did return the kick. I think they got it to about the 30-yard line. And now we're right back where we were, where the Lions offense feels like they have to keep responding because their defense just can't do anything. And I feel like this is the exact same situation we were in the Buffalo game. The defense just could not do anything. The Lions got down 2 touchdowns and could never recover. Yeah, that I just chalk it up to this week in fantasy, and overall was just dumb. I made the right choice. It was just stupid. All right, so we had a pass in the flat to Jahmyr Gibbs there. Got about 9. Yeah, and I was concerned about the Bucks because the Bucks and Panthers played each other really close the last time they played. But yeah, the Bucks just destroyed Carolina this last time, and they got a defensive touchdown as well. Technically, it was a special teams touchdown, a pump block, but. All right, so at the 34-yard line, 2nd and 1, Goff back to throw. Throws, oh my gosh, he's got Laporta! There's a flag in the secondary, but I feel like that's going to be on San Francisco. Gets it to the 49ers' 35-yard line. I'm thinking that this is against San Francisco. We'll see what the umpires say. Where are you going to get a call from the black and white? Okay, they just pick up the flag, no flag, so I don't know what they were what they were going to call, but no penalty on the play. So nice long play to Laporta. Yeah, and if I had played Jonathan, I made a decision to play A.J. Brown over Jonathan Taylor. That was the wrong choice as well. All right, we've got Goff under center. Hands it off to Craig Reynolds, and he's only going to get about 2 on the play. We've got a 2nd and 8 upcoming. Oh, sorry, I was checking some of my messages there. They get a pass to Jameson Williams, and it's going to be 3rd down. Yeah, on the 49ers side of the field, I think Dan Campbell's thinking touchdown all the way here. As we wind under 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter, both offenses been running very efficiently. The game is going relatively fast. Goff has it in the shotgun. He's got Bosa back there, and Bosa gets him for a sack down at the 40. Goff has got to throw that one away. You can't have that in this situation. In field goal range and then kind of scrambles back another 5 to 10 yards, and they're not in field goal range anymore. This would be like a 60-something yard field goal, and that's just not going to happen. I mean, you do have Jake Bates, but I wouldn't want to give the 49ers a short field and, oh, well, that's what they're doing here. Oh, my gosh, from the 45-yard line, this has got to be like a 60-something yard field goal. 57-yard attempt for Jake Bates. It's up, and it's on its way, and it's looking good. He got it. Drilled it from 57. Nice kick from Jake Bates. And all right, give Dan Campbell credit. He's trusting his players, and his players came through for him. So they cut it to 4. Not what the Lions wanted, but we'll see if their defense can maybe get a stop. We've got 49ers 28, Lions 24. You're listening to my live reactions here on the Dustytron channel. Yeah, this is a much more exciting game, but somehow this is getting viewed less than the Bears and Vikings game, which I find interesting. But yeah, as I was kind of saying earlier, it might be people are like, well, yeah, this game literally means nothing. There are no implications to this whatsoever. Lions lose, doesn't matter. 49ers wins, doesn't matter. It's ultimately going to boil down to Vikings-Lions next week. That was a great kick by Bates. I was like, well, Goff lost all this yardage. It's super risky to kick the field goal from there. No worries, Sam. But yeah, we've cut it to 4. We'll see if we can get... I mean, I'm not a huge fan of San Francisco. I would say the Lions are probably my 3rd favorite team in the league right now. I'd have to do a re-ranking of all of my teams. I just know that Broncos are my least favorite, Patriots are my 2nd least favorite, Panthers, so probably Lions. Well, I think I like the Lions more than the Jags now. The Jags are pretty boring. So it goes Panthers, Giants, Lions, Jags. I feel like the Bengals are up there. I like the Bengals a lot, so they might be 5. (28-24) 49ers over Lions. Let's take a look at some stats here. 19-22 for Jared Goff, 2 touchdowns, 238 yards. And then, yeah, Gibbs kind of staying the same in the rushing department. Brock Purdy, 18-21, he's pushing 300 here. 279 and 3 touchdowns. Actually, someone in my fantasy league was just saying Lamar Jackson might get the MVP, but he just got bumped out of the top 5 quarterback performances this week by Brock Purdy. And Deebo Samuel on the return here gets it to the 33-yard line. Oh, nice. Yeah, I think I remember you mentioning that your brother was in North Carolina. Yeah, so Steelers, they're not looking so great going into the playoffs. It's kind of seeming like they might have been bottom feeding a little bit, beating easy teams. But when they get faced with tough matchups, this tough stretch down the at the end of the season here, and they're not doing so great. All right, we've got a play action from Purdy. Purdy going deep, and we're going to get pass interference. The Lions intercepted the ball, but Kittle got knocked over. I mean, the play can continue here. It wasn't like it was an incomplete pass, but I think he knows that it's blatant pass interference on Brian Branch there. I mean, the pass was way overthrown. It's going to be interesting if they call it uncatchable, but Brian Branch literally does. Yeah, they call the pass interference. Yeah, no, I mean... I acknowledge that the game 2 weeks ago against the Ravens looks worse than it actually was. The final score looks worse than it actually was. But last week against the Chiefs, I watched that game on Christmas, and they just had nothing. Granted, Jaylen Warren did decently for me in fantasy, but besides that, like... it was bad. They seemed like almost apathetic. Just the announcer put it best. It was just underwhelming. All right, Purdy. Oh, Purdy throws a pick. He overthrows Ricky Pearsall, and it is run back by Joseph. He needs to get down. And they are cooking at the 44-yard line of the San Francisco 49ers. And that's what you needed. Purdy makes a mistake. I believe that's Kirby Joseph who got the interception, if I'm having my names correct here. That's age. Trying to find him on here. Okay, maybe not. Hang on. Working differently. Yeah, Kirby Joseph. Yep. Yeah, seriously. I feel like you could almost argue the other one by Purdy. So, yeah, both were terrible overthrows. The first one you could almost argue, I think it just looked so blatant that Kittle got knocked over, but I'd almost argue that it was uncatchable. It went way past Kittle. But yeah, with Jake Bates getting that field goal, if the Lions can get a touchdown on this drive, they will take the lead. And they have not had that the entire game, so let's go Detroit. Lions defense making it interesting. Or maybe we should just say Purdy wanted to make it interesting because that was an awful throw. Maybe he's starting to get a little too confident. But yeah, looking at the playoff picture here. So, who do the... Okay, we've got the Dolphins playing the Jets. I wonder if the Jets will actually try to thwart the Dolphins. Like, their entire season has been awful. But if they could walk off into the sunset and prevent a division rival from making the playoffs, I feel like that would be a good... And I could see that with Carolina as well, where it's like if they could beat Atlanta, finish the season with a win, prevent them from making the playoffs, that would be big for them. That would be something they could ride into next year. Yeah, Purdy just sails that pass on Pearsall there. He was open. He didn't need to throw it high. He just needed to throw it ahead of him, and he would have had probably a big game. All right, we've got 1st and 10 at the 43 of the 49ers. That's a pass to Jameson Williams, who has not been kind to me in my fantasy matchup. He's just got to get everything today, doesn't he? 2nd and 2. Let's see if that is... Yeah, still down by 18, so that's probably not going to happen there. All right, 2nd and 2. Goff gets it to Reynolds in the flat. That's a 1st down. Gets it to the 35, or no, 25, I think, of the 49ers there. So they're making their way down the field. Yeah, no, that is true. Especially 2022, where you kept the Packers out. I actually have a friend of mine, he's a big Packers fan, and he was definitely upset about that game. All right, so it's at like the 26-yard line. Goff out of the shotgun. Craig Reynolds in the backfield, and they're going to give it to Reynolds, and he's going to go up the middle and get about 5. So trying to do some physical running here as we run under 2.5 minutes to play. They give him 6. It's 2nd and 4. From about the 25-yard line of San Francisco. Lions, their defense has done nothing all day, but they're trying to be opportunistic on getting a errant throw interception from Brock Purdy and trying to cash in on it. They're on the 20-yard line of the 49ers. Sorry about that. Goff in the shotgun, has Amon-Ra in motion from the right to the left. Craig Reynolds in the backfield. And it's a fake toss to Reynolds, throws, and that's Amon-Ra St. Brown down to the 6-yard line. We've got a 1st and goal for Detroit. I swear, if the Lions find a way to win this one with how badly their defense is performing, it just kind of speaks to how they come together as a team and are able to find ways to win. I'm really concerned about it for the playoffs, but if there is one team that could find a way to overcome it, it might be this Lions team. They've got the ball at the 6-yard line of San Francisco. Goff under center. Amon-Ra moves in motion from left to right. And it's Jamar Jefferson. Don't know why he's getting goal line carries here. And he's down after 2. The fantasy pickup nobody picked up. Jamar Jefferson. We've got a 2nd and goal under a minute to play in the 3rd quarter. Should be a really interesting finish to this game going into the 4th. 2nd and goal for the Lions. At the 4-yard line of San Francisco, Goff under center. He has 3 wide receivers to his right. Craig Reynolds in the backfield. Amon-Ra moves in motion to the left. Goff looking to the end zone. Fires, and it's incomplete. Intended for who else? Jameson Williams. Jameson Williams was potentially getting his 3rd touchdown catch, but wasn't really open. Goff throws it at his feet. Incomplete. We've got a 3rd and goal with 26 seconds left, and yeah, like you could argue take the field goal here. Dan Campbell's going to go for the touchdown. You know he has touchdown on his mind. 49ers have to be expecting that. Lions have to be preparing for that. Goff in the shotgun. It's Jamar Jefferson. Gibbs nowhere to be seen. Throws. Oh, Amon-Ra didn't really locate the ball, but he did get separation from the corner. And it's incomplete. We've got a 4th and goal with 22 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Yeah, I think Goff puts it where he needs to. Amon-Ra just kind of didn't find where the ball was. It's an anticipation play. Goff puts it where Amon-Ra should be, and it's a rare mistake by St. Brown, I think, there. He knew. He just kind of, you could see him in his eyes. He just didn't know where the ball was. All right, so we have Gibbs in on the 4th down. I didn't even speculate about it. We knew they were doing it. Goff goes. It's Amon-Ra St. Brown for the touchdown. Lions get in for 6 and get their first lead of the game. They take a 30-28 lead. Wow. And it's just such a simple play call there. And they didn't hesitate. They just go up to the line. They snap it. So much confidence on 4th down there. And we've got Jake Bates going to kick the extra point. It's up on its way, and it just sneaks in. I would be concerned about, after all of that momentum shifting, if somehow he left them open to a field goal, giving the 49ers the lead by missing the extra point. Yeah, this team is a really fun team to watch. St. Brown gets into the end zone. He had been catching short passes all day, but he is definitely Goff's go-to receiver when he needs it the most. 31-28 in the dwindling seconds of the 3rd quarter. Lions lead for the first time today. You're listening to my live reactions here on the Dusty Tron channel. So now it's going to be really interesting to see how the Lions defense can come out, because the Lions have taken the lead, so they can play that touchdown for touchdown game at this point, but that's going to really come down to who has the ball last, and you would like to see Detroit maybe generate another turnover, or at least show you can get a defensive stop. There have been no punts in this game so far. You gotta love it. And that's Bates kicking off. And it's a touchback. Deebo Samuel catches it in the back of the end zone, takes a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. 19 seconds left in the 3rd. Let's see what San Francisco can do. Detroit 31, San Francisco 28. We have a wild 4th quarter in store for us. All right, we've got Purdy back in the shotgun. Takes the snap on 1st and 10. Falling off his back foot, but is able to get it to Kittle. Down after 9. So that's going to get him to the 39-yard line, and the quarter will run out. Primed for an awesome 4th quarter. It's the Lions 31, the 49ers 28. You're listening to my live reactions here on the Dusty Tron channel. Yeah, I feel like the ending of this one, I might be yelling a lot. It's actually funny. The last Lions game I streamed on here, I was just starting to get a cold, and I was screaming my head off on that one because that one was insane, the game against the Packers, and I had literally no voice the next day. And it actually took me a few days to get it back because I actually had like a cold to go along with it. I think I wasn't really talking like fully for like 3 days. So hopefully that doesn't happen this time. I'm feeling a lot better this time than I was last time, though. So doing a quick recap of the stats here. We've got Jared Goff, 23-28, 272 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. Gibbs, yeah, it seems like he got injured or something. He hasn't come back in or hasn't really touched the ball that much. Still at 68 yards running on the day at a 5.2 yard per carry clip. Craig Reynolds, though, he's gotten himself above 5 yards a carry at 5.3, 4 rushes for 21 yards. Jamar Jefferson, not doing nearly as good, 3 rushes for 9 yards. Jared Goff, 1 rush for -1 yards. And Jameson Williams, I love this stat line. 2 carries for -2 yards, averaging -1 yard a carry, but has a touchdown. You gotta love it. That is a hilarious stat line. And receiving, Jameson Williams, 4 catches, 69 yards, and a touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 8 catches, only 60 yards on those 8 catches, but a touchdown. Been targeted 10 times in the game. That's a lot. Jahmyr Gibbs, 4 catches, 46 yards, no touchdown. Sam LaPorta, 4 catches, 41 yards, and a touchdown. We start the 4th quarter here. That was an 18-point third quarter by the Detroit Lions. 31-28. Yeah, I heard, I saw they were down. I didn't watch the game. I saw they were down 27-10. I'm like, oh, Minnesota's got this. And then I saw it was 27-25 the final. So they tried to make it a game at the end. We've got a handoff to Guerendo here. He's going to get the first, about a 3-yard carry there. Actually, more like a 2-yard carry. But it was enough for the first down. 1st and 10 as we wind down under about 14 minutes and 40 seconds here in the 4th quarter. We've got a lot going on here. The stage is set. Who will come out on top? I mean, imagine if this game did have big implications right here. This would be amazing, but the unfortunate reality of it is that this game doesn't really mean anything for either team. Purdy back to throw from the shotgun, throws, and that's Kittle at the 40 of the Lions. So the 49ers, that's about a 20-yard gain, making their way down the field yet again. Yeah, you would think. Yeah, Kittle's carving you up tonight. Let's take a look at what his stats are. Yeah, Kittle, 6 receptions for 94 yards. Yeah, he's had 6 targets, 6 catches. No touchdowns, though. All right, we got some trickery. Pearsall looking like he's going to throw. Throws it away. That was not exciting. Yeah, it seemed like they were going to do that earlier in the game. It was on their first drive. Pearsall got it after Deebo Samuel had it. He got it pitched to him, or it might have been Guerendo. And you saw Brock Purdy streaking out, but he bobbled the toss and kind of decided to just run with it. Oh, we've got camera issues again. See if that helps. There we go. All right, Purdy in the backfield. He's got Guerendo out to his left. Deebo Samuel moves in motion, runs behind Purdy. Purdy throws, and oh, it's way overthrown. And Joseph had another interception. He was looking at it. He slipped, could not make the play. Wow, Purdy getting a little bit iffy with these passes here. Way overthrowing open receivers. being a little erratic down the stretch. We don't see that from Purdy very often. Yeah, he's only 4 away from breaking 100, so... Or it's 6. It might be 6. Yeah, 60 yards away from breaking 100. Purdy throws. It's broken up from Jawan Jennings. The Lions defense makes a play, and this might be a Jake Moody field goal. It's at the 40-yard line, though, so you almost wonder, is this going to be a punt? Or are they going to go for it on 4th? Jake Moody, he's not like Jake Bates. He's been very questionable in the kicking department this year. And do you really want to give the ball to the Lions at their own 40? Well, that's what they're doing. They're going to try to tie the game here. It's going to be a 58-yard attempt by Jake Moody. And here's the kick. It's up. It's sailing. And that's going to be no good. No good. And the Lions are going to take over. Still no punts in the game. But it's a miss for the 49ers. Oh, wow, yeah, so if Amon-Ra just gets another touchdown in either this game or the next game, he'll break that. Or that's probably including the playoffs, though, so just another touchdown for the rest of the season and he'll break it. That seems feasible. So, yeah, 58-yard field goal. Jake Moody is not Jake Bates. Oh, I did not update this graphic. We are in the 4th quarter, not the 3rd quarter. (31-28) Lions over the 49ers. But, I mean, going into... It's going to be kind of interesting if the Lions can pull out a win here. Is this going to help them against the Vikings? Because this is a tough, hard-nosed game where they've had to overcome adversity, and they seem to be doing a decent job at it. Or is it just going to make them run down for the Vikings game? I don't know. But Dan Campbell's obviously banking on it helping his team. 31-28, Lions over 49ers. It has been a back and forth affair here. That's really interesting. I like how all these current NFL players have podcasts now, and they have like former players on, and there's just, you get a lot more feel of an insight into what the players are feeling and thinking throughout the season. Because I know growing up, you just kind of got what like the CBS or Fox pregame show told you. You really didn't know what was going on with the players. Yeah, the defense is playing weak. I think they've got, like, the pass breakup there, you do have to admit, it was a good pass. It was kind of lucky that the corner got there and was able to hit the receiver to break it up. But yeah, the Lions start at their own 48-yard line. They got to take advantage of this drive. A touchdown would make it a 2-possession game. Jahmyr Gibbs, that is not the way to start. Gets hit in the backfield, but somehow gets back to the line of scrimmage. Runs from the left end of the field all the way back to the right end of the field and somehow makes 2 yards out of it. A lot of effort for 2 yards. Goff tried to throw a block on that run, kind of unsuccessful there. You don't really want your quarterbacks throwing blocks. They're in 49ers territory at their 49-yard line, 2nd and 7 as we run under 13 minutes to go in this 4th quarter. It's a handoff to Jahmyr Gibbs, and Gibbs is going to get about 4 there, so we're going to have a 3rd and 3 upcoming at the 45-yard line of San Francisco. Yeah, I know. And it's like, I know they're probably trying to filter themselves a little bit, but you do kind of feel like they are a bit unfiltered and they are kind of just talking about what day-to-day like life is with the team. And there's Goff back to throws. Oh, Laporta had hands on him, but they're not going to get the call, and it's 4th and 3. And now what does Dan Campbell do? Does Dan Campbell do the first punt of the game? Is that what Dan Campbell does? That doesn't seem very Dan Campbell to me. All right, we got Goff in the shotgun. He's back to throw. Throws. Oh, he's got Laporta. Laporta to the 30. To the 26. First down, Lion. Sorry, can't put the game on. I can talk about the game, though. Yeah, no, they weren't going to punt that. And Laporta gets it. 26-yard line. Goff takes it. Hands it off to Reynolds. Down after 2. Gonna have a 2nd and 8. We just gotta keep talking about Laporta catches and they'll just happen. We run under 11 minutes to play. Second and 8 at the 24-yard line. Goff throws a swing pass in. Jameson Williams can't hang on. They're ruling it incomplete. The 49ers were trying to say it's a fumble. That was definitely forward. I think that pass goes forward. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I would say Gibbs is usually the one getting the majority of the points here. But hey, Laporta touchdown. Can we speak that into existence here? He's down at the left side. Oh, Williams fell down on that play. On 3rd and 8. Now it's going to go 4th and 8. And now I think you have to take the field goal. Yeah, Williams, they were setting him up on a screen and he just slips and isn't able to get up. All right, so it looks like they are going to take the field goal. Jake Bates lining up for a 42-yard attempt. 10.5 minutes left to go. Let's see if Bates can get the field goal. The kick is up, and that one is good. So the Lions take a 6-point lead, 34-28. You're listening to my live reactions here on the Dustytron channel. 10.5 minutes to go in the game. Yeah, I do feel like teams adjust. They just do after they see certain aspects. You can see it with like CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud was really prolific last year, but they kind of focused in on some things with him, and CJ Stroud has been nothing like he was last year, this year. So, what are the other tight ends that the Lions have had? It was oh shoot, I know there was one. I can't remember. Maybe I can look it up. Tight ends in Lions history. All right, ranker. Every Detroit Lions tight end ranked by the fans. Okay, Charlie Sanders. Okay, oh, TJ Hawkinson, but you traded him away. Yeah, okay, so I was talking about this earlier. I feel like there's been so many blocks in the league this year. However, I was looking through the stats on it. It's actually not as many as 2022. 2022, I think, had like 6 more blocks total. Now, granted, we still have the playoffs and another week of the regular season, but I think there were like 25 blocked field goals in 2022, and there's been 18 this year, which was honestly lower than I thought. Oh, Brandon Pettigrew's on this list. Yeah, I mean, he had a lot of potential, but Brandon Pettigrew didn't really pan out. Yeah, I'm actually not recognizing a lot of these. Oh, Eric Ebron. Oh my goodness, Eric Ebron. Pete Mitchell, okay. Oh, Jesse James played on you for like 2 seasons, it looks like. Okay, well, apparently, yeah, the fans ranked every single Lions tight end here. Yeah, no, I was looking at that list and it's like, yeah, sure, you've got like Brandon Pettigrew and Eric Ebron, but they weren't really good. They were big names at the time, highly drafted, but they didn't actually pan out. All right, Bates kicks it off. And that's a touchback. Oh, wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I love Jake Bates' story. I want him to do well. And I mean, he is definitely doing well, so. All right, so the Lions defense, they've made plays the last 2 drives. Can they, well, yeah, sorry, there was, yeah. No, it is the last 2 drives, I think. Yep, last 2 drives. All right, Purdy in the shotgun. Purdy pumps. Oh, they're gonna sack him. Loss of 5 down at the 25. Lions defense starting to come to life a bit here. Made some second half adjustments. They allowed 21 points in the first half. They've only allowed 7 so far in this half. And it might be they're trying to get after Purdy a bit more. Rattle him up in the pocket. We're run under 10 minutes here. 10 minutes and 50 seconds. Purdy under center. Guerrero in motion. Guerrero in motion. And something happened pre-snap. Either a delay a game. Didn't take the time out. Yeah, it was the Thanksgiving game like his first miss of the season or something like that. I remember that, where he had one game where he might have struggled a little bit, but he still did fine. I mean, honestly, that Texans game where he hit the 250 plus yarders to win, I mean, that's the type of kicker you want, and I think you gotta show some loyalty to kickers. All right, we've got Purdy throws to Pearsall on 2nd and 20. They get about 15 there, so it's going to be either about a 3rd and 5 or 3rd and 4. Under 9.5 to play. It's 3rd and 5 officially. Taking a look at NFL.com over here, play-by-play. All right, we got Purdy in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Purdy throws. Oh, he's got Pearsall again. Down at the 49, their own 49-yard line. They convert the first down. starting to make their way down the field, close to midfield. So we've got 34-28. With the spread being 6 right now, kind of thinking this game won't go into overtime. We're probably going to have a winner at the end of regulation. Unless the 49ers get a field goal, stop the Lions, try to get another field goal. But I don't think that's where we're headed. Purdy throws. Oh my gosh, he's got Kittle open again. Kittle gets to the 26 of the Lions. They cannot stop George Kittle, and that gets him over 100. There is a flag on the play, though. Might be coming back. Oh, it's an ineligible man downfield, so this is coming back. Yep, P for the D. Yeah, like the kicker missing one field goal, you can't get on his case for that. I really hate how NFL teams have no loyalty to kickers right now. There's gonna be some tough misses, and they're going to hit some really good ones. You got to stick with them, I feel. All right, Purdy back, throws, gets Jawan Jennings for about 5, so this is going to be about a 2nd and 11. Now we've got another flag. We'll see what happens here. 7 minutes and 51 seconds left to play. A little extracurricular by Brian Branch there. That's not... The Lions can't be giving the 49ers free yardage with how poorly their defense is playing. They've been a little bit better. Oh, that's blatant. Brian Branch just not keeping his cool there. When your defense is struggling, you can't give them 15 free yards. It's going to be a 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line of Detroit for Purdy and the 49ers. Oh! It's Joseph again! Steps in front of the pass and intercepts him. He has got Purdy's number tonight. They needed the defensive player to step up, and Kirby Joseph is his name. Totally read Purdy's eyes and stepped in front of the pass. It's intended for Pearsall. Joseph steps in front of it. And the Lions, hopefully this drive can make it a 2-possession game. That's crazy. You do feel like he's honing in on what Purdy's trying to do and just kind of reading him and outsmarting him. But yeah, needed someone to step up, and that was you got to give Kirby credit on that play. That was a good play by Kirby. But yeah, we're midway through the 4th quarter here. Lions with a super important pick. Let's see if they can seal the game. No team has punted in this one. This would not be the time to get the first punt of the game. So let's hope the Lions can have a good possession and seal this one out. I mean, there was the Eagles giving a masterclass on how to seal a game out a few weeks ago against the Steelers with a 10-plus minute final drive. Yeah, I don't think you can say it's Sonic and Knuckles anymore, though. Knuckles is injured for the year. Although, I think he's trying to come back for the playoffs. And it definitely help if they can get that first-round bye. Oh, I get it now. You're saying that Kirby is like video game Kirby. Got it. Okay. It wasn't spelt the same way. I didn't catch it at first. Yeah, I think I played like one Kirby game. I haven't really done too much of Kirby, except that I just know that Kirby is super annoying in Smash. I have a friend of mine who literally just does the up B all the time and then does the down B, and it's just an obnoxious player to play against. Yeah, I know. I know. The Lions players are so dedicated. They want to come back as soon as they can. But yeah, when you kind of have a torn PCL or whatnot, you kind of got to let that heal. All right. So at the 38-yard line, Goff takes over. All right. We've got a handoff to Gibbs. He's going to get about 7 yards, maybe 8. Lions got to run that clock down. Yeah, sorry, I was just slow on the uptake there. It was a good joke. (34-38) as we run under 7 minutes to play. Lions trying to run out this clock the best they can. Maybe tack on a field goal, make it a lot harder for the 49ers to make the comeback. Goff under center. Amon-Ra Brown and St. Brown in motion. I can't say it right. And Gibbs dives forward for 4, and they get the first down. Going to be able to run another 40 seconds off that clock. So we were talking about how Aaron Glenn had to get his defense together. They made some adjustments at halftime. I've only given up 7 points the second half after giving up 3 consecutive touchdown drives to start the game. And yeah, Kirby Joseph, one of the big players who's made a difference today. Usually you see it be Brian Branch, but today it's Kirby Joseph. We've got Penei Sewell in motion, going from the right side to the left side. Looks like the Lions might be doing some trickery here. And it's a handoff to Craig Reynolds, goes to the left side, gets about 3. Stays in bounds, keeps that clock running. Gonna take another 40 seconds off. The 49ers defense, though, they got to come up with a stop here. Can't let the Lions run this clock out. They do have all 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. Lions in no hurry. They're going to let this clock run. Goff under center with 5 under the play clock. I was going to say shot clock. Bosa chasing Goff. Goff completes it to Jameson Williams, who gets another Lions first down. It's about an 8-yard completion. Stays in bounds, keeps the clock running. Detroit trying to seal this game. Hard-fought matchup, overcoming adversity. 6-point lead with under 5 minutes to play in the game. Can the Lions seal the deal and come out with a victory here in Santa Clara, California? Goff under center. They've got a heavy loaded left side. Craig Reynolds in the backfield. He gets the carry. Goes up the middle. Gets about 4. It's going to be 2nd and 6 with 4.5 to play. Oh, nice. Only 5 away from Stafford's record. All right, we run under 4 minutes to play. 34-28, Lions over the 49ers. They stack the right side now. Amon-Ra moves in motion from right to left. Goff, they're throwing, throws it to Laporta, and Laporta gets down to the 30. So we've got a 3rd and 2 coming up. They could be doing just runs all here, playing conservative, but they are still putting the ball in the air, trying to move the ball down the field. Keep moving those chains. We've got a 3rd and 2 as we run under 3.5 to play. 49ers got to make a stand. The Lions are in field goal range, and a field goal does make it a 2-possession game. They are at the 49ers 30-yard line, I believe. 3rd and 2. Goff in the shotgun. Gibbs is the back. They get the snap off just before the play clock expires. Gibbs streaking to the end zone, and he's going to get in. Lions touchdown! And that might do it here in Santa Clara. 40-28, we've got our 2-possession game. Gibbs with the home run hit, 30-yard touchdown run. Able to get the edge. But you do feel like the Lions offense has to score 40 points to win. It's nuts. All right, Bates for the field goal attempt. The extra point attempt. Oh no, he missed it. He missed it, so it's 12 points. Doesn't make too much of a difference. The 49ers need 2 touchdowns anyway. So I would say that doesn't really matter too much. Yeah, because touchdown and 2, that still doesn't even make it a field goal game. So they need 2 touchdowns regardless. So the missed extra point, not a big deal there, but you like to see Jake Bates. But I mean, if Jake Bates is going to miss one, you might as well have him miss one when it doesn't matter. Well, and I think that kind of puts a dagger in my fantasy matchup. Sam Laporta not able to overcome Jahmyr Gibbs. I put up almost 140, just couldn't win. But it's gonna haunt me, because if I had played Jonathan Taylor and then just chosen a different defense besides the Colts, I probably could have pulled the victory out. But yeah. Unfortunately, I lose all 3 championships. Yeah, I believe I had 1 year where I was in 5 championships and a 3rd place game, and I lost every single one. It was ridiculous. Oh, something odd's happening here. They're thinking there might have been a fumble on the kickoff, and then the 49ers run it for a touchdown. Waiting for what the officials are saying. Did they rule him down? This would be a very odd twist in the game if this goes for 6. Yeah, I saw that earlier. Yeah, most wins in franchise history. So Deebo Samuel does fumble the ball. What happens here? Yeah, 48 dives on the ball and gets back up, but he was touching the pile. I think you have to call him down by contact there. So I highly doubt this touchdown will stand. Yeah, I know something about 15 wins, the 15-1 Panthers season. 15 wins is awesome. Just unfortunately, doesn't matter too much unless you get that Lombardi. But it's still awesome season, great accomplishments. Yeah, it looks like they're going to call the 49ers returner down. So they'll have the ball, but not a touchdown there. 40-28, Lions over the 49ers. They have scored 19 unanswered points. Purdy throws Kittle. That'll get him over 100. Should be like a 6-yard gain there. Yep, 101 yards receiving for Kittle. Yeah, I know. The 15-1 makes me think of the Aaron Rodgers Packers that lost to the Giants in the divisional, and it also makes me think of the Minnesota Vikings that lost to the Atlanta Falcons in the 1998 NFC Championship game. I really feel like the Vikings Broncos Super Bowl would have been a lot more entertaining than the Broncos Falcons Super Bowl that we got. You just knew the Falcons weren't going to beat the Broncos in the Elway Broncos in that Super Bowl. That was actually is the second Super Bowl I fully watched. The first one I fully watched was the John Elway Packers one. Purdy throws incomplete. Actually, that's true. Maybe 16 games is the curse. That is actually a very fair point, Sam. All right, so as we knew at the beginning of this game, it's all the marbles are on the table next week between the Vikings and the Lions. Second and 10 for the 49ers at the 47-yard line. And there's a pass to Jawan Jennings. He's going to get about 6. Or, sorry, 7. So this is going to be a 3rd and 3. Probably going to run down to the 2-minute warning here. 49ers don't really seem to be in that much of a hurry. If you're trying to win the game here, you really need to go a little bit faster. You need 2 touchdowns. I really hate how teams just kind of, they accept defeat at the end of the game sometimes and just don't really go don't go at a frenzied pace. They probably should have gone up to the ball, spiked the ball, tried to maintain their 3 timeouts. Because if they get a touchdown, they can still kick the ball off, take 3 timeouts if they preserve those timeouts, and get the ball back. Like, I don't know what the 49ers are doing here going so slow. Yeah. Bears and Giants, and then, yeah. Panthers being in that group couldn't get there. I was almost wondering, it's like, I was kind of, because there was all the, like, there'd be a lot of pressure if the Panthers actually went 16-0 that year. And I'm like, I almost want us to lose so that we don't have to deal with that going into the playoffs. And it got us to the Super Bowl, but yeah, we just couldn't finish it off, which was unfortunate, to say the least. That was our Super Bowl to win, and I despise the Broncos ever since. Because I was actually thinking that Super Bowl, I thought the Patriots were going to beat the Broncos in that AFC Championship game, and we were going to have a rematch of Super Bowl 38, and that one was going to be a lot harder because Brady doesn't lose Super Bowls. So, granted, I know statistically he does, but he is one of the best Super Bowl quarterbacks of all time. So, I was actually happy when we got the Broncos, but then it was a miserable, ugly game, and I hate it. I've watched it a couple of times again. It's horrible, and it brings me no joy. So, yeah. Can't say enough bad things about Super Bowl 50. Right, yeah, there's just a lot of pressure. It's like, oh my gosh, are you going to do the perfect season? Which it's like, if you pulled off if the Panthers pulled off the perfect season, I would be like, ah! But it's like, I would much rather just get a Super Bowl win than, like, pursue perfection or whatnot. Yeah, pursue perfection and fall short. All right, so we're at the 2-minute warning here. 2 minutes left in the game. Lions 40, 49ers 28. They can't kick a field goal because it wouldn't make it a one-possession game. At their own 40, they're at the Lions' 45-yard line. Pearsall has it, gets it to the 35. That's about a 10-yard gain. They convert the 3rd down, hurrying up here, trying to preserve those 3 timeouts. Purdy in the shotgun. Has the catch. Oh, and it's Brian Branch. Comes in on the blind side sack. Yeah, it just does. Like, why do I care about a perfect undefeated season if we didn't win the Super Bowl? It's like, ooh, I get to join the Patriots and the Dolphins to do that. Because I mean, when you think about it, there's a lot of teams at 15-1. Not many have done that either. So you're in a select group there, a select few group there as well. Oh, of course, yeah. Like all you really remember about those 16-0 Patriots is that they couldn't complete the season against the Eli Manning Giants. That's literally all you remember about them. So it looks like Purdy got a little shooken up on that last play. Josh Dobbs is in now. Dobbs sends his running back in motion. Has it. Back to throw. Throws over the middle, and it's complete to Jawan Jennings. Can he get out of bounds? They call him out. All right, so that's going to be about a 3rd and 1. The clock is stopped at 1:28. We'll see if Purdy can get back into the game, but it's Josh Dobbs for now. 3rd and 2. Sorry, I thought it was a 3rd and 1. It's 3rd and 2. Okay, it looks like the 49ers called a timeout. Not sure why they did that. Either that or they're looking at the previous play to see if he got out of bounds. Yeah, so not gonna lie, I was living in New York at the time, and being a secondary Giants fan, I was so pumped that the Giants lost that game. And it was interesting. It was a few years before I actually moved out to New Hampshire, and part of me really wanted to be a Giants fan in New England when the Patriots couldn't finish it. And then in 2011, that was literally the year before I moved out there, and they couldn't finish it either then. So I was like, oh, I missed 2 opportunities to be able to heckle Boston sports fans, but I just did it after the fact. Yeah, gotta say, the Giants were not very popular in New England. All right, so it looks like they're keeping Dobbs in the game. We've still got something going on here. 40-28, Lions over the 49ers. They have a 3rd and 2 near the red zone. Dobbs has it. Dobbs is going to throw, gets it to Jawan Jennings, and he gets out of bounds. That's about at the 23 of the Lions. Right, I kind of feel like nobody actually hates the Lions being good. All right, we've got a pass to Kittle. Kittle putting up a lot of numbers, and the 49ers might take a timeout here. He was in the middle of the field. So at this point, you're definitely not going to be able to kick the ball away. You're going to have to do an onside. That's fair. Although I feel like for those long-suffering teams, it's only if you get like a lot of wins. Because I feel like the Chiefs weren't winning for a while, and then everyone hates the Chiefs now, unless you're a Chiefs fan or a Swiftie. And like they've won the Super Bowl, what, 4 out of the last 5 years or something like that? 3 out of the last 4. All right, we got a 1st and goal at the 7-yard line. Dobbs takes the snap. Dobbs lobs it, going for Jennings, doesn't get him. 50 seconds left in the game, 2nd and goal. They try a fade route to Jennings, and it doesn't work. 40-28, Lions over the 49ers. They have a 12-point lead with 50 seconds left in the game. Yeah, I feel like most fans, it's like, yeah, except for the Browns. I feel like people don't really like the Browns. They get on people's bad sides for obvious reasons. Dobbs has it. 2nd and goal. Scrambling towards the end zone. He got in. That is a touchdown for the 49ers. So it'll come down to the onside kick. They maintained 1 timeout. So this one is not over yet. 40-34. Yeah, Dobbs stretches it across the pylon before his foot goes out of bounds. So that is a 49ers touchdown. But yeah, I feel like that are teams that have gotten to the Super Bowl a bunch and lost. I don't think you'd see a lot of people complaining about either the Bills or Vikings winning the Super Bowl. Unless, of course, you're like a Lions or a Packers fan. Like, you wouldn't want the Vikings to win the Super Bowl. But I feel like your average fan would be like, okay, yeah, I'm fine with that. Moody kicks the extra point. Oh my goodness, he missed it. Not that it's really going to matter that much. The field goal would have, the extra point only would have made it a 5-point game. So, still really wouldn't have mattered. I mean, I guess it would have made it so you could do a 2-point conversion to make it a 3-point game, 43-40. But that's really all that extra point is giving you at this point. A touchdown. Well, actually, a touchdown would only tie it. You would need an extra point made by Moody to win the game. So that would be hilarious if they somehow get the touchdown here but miss the extra point and then we go into overtime. But they got to get this onside here. Onsides with the new kickoff rules are very, very difficult to convert. Let's see if I can get a number on it really quick. NFL 2024 onside recovery percentage. All right, not going to get the number in enough time. Moody lines up at his 35. Here's the onside, and it just goes out of bounds. And that's going to do it. The Lions are going to pull this one off. They were down 21-13 at halftime, and they get 27 points compared to the 49ers only getting, what, 13? So what a second half by Detroit. Yeah, Sam. No. So wait, you would want the Packers to get a Super Bowl before the Vikings? Or the Bears? Well, okay, the Bears have one. Oh, sorry. I'm being dumb about that. The Packers already have Super Bowls. All right, the Lions kneel it out, and that will do it. They actually technically need to kneel one more because there was 41 seconds on the clock. They need to kneel it one more time. 40-34 is going to be the final. There were no punts in this game. And that is the final. Goff kneels it down. And that is all she wrote. Lions 40, 49ers 39. And I echo that, Sam. What a win for Detroit here. And that gives them momentum, overcoming adversity into the game that'll decide the #1 seed in the NFC next week. The Vikings at Detroit. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this postseason. It should be good. Definitely pulling for Detroit here. All right. Yeah, no, thanks for hopping on the stream, Sam. It was a great time, and I'm thinking I probably will stream the Vikings Lions one. That's just too big of a game to pass up. So hopefully I see you then. And thanks for everyone who tuned in. You've been listening to my live reactions here on the Dustytron channel. Have a good night, everyone.